begins. I'm a living legend. Scanning the area.
Double kill.
Alright, well, let's get this started. This year, we're going to do a little bit different format. It's going to be Battle Royale, so I think the best way to do this is just like a traditional Battle Royale. So, Sea of Thieves versus Red Dead. Ready? Fight!
So
yeah,
I
really like
definitely
not going to be
banjos.
Sea of Thieves.
It's not.
It can't be Sea of Thieves just because of the fact that when you're actually like
I just didn't really like it that much.
This is not going to work. This isn't going to work, guys. I can't even complete a sentence because I'm trying to listen to you talk. And I don't know why I am, because I already know Caleb's going to be wrong.
Austin said nothing.
I'm waiting my turn.
So
Austin, the worst Battle Royale player of all.
You
Andrew
finished
was supposed to
100
be
out of
the silent
100.
one.
I'm waiting for you guys to kill each other off, and I'll jump in.
Oh, okay.
You're
I
the one
see.
that just hides in the bathtub for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
so
with
you
shotgun.
came in with a strategy.
Yeah.
Anybody want
Yeah.
to eulogize Sea of Thieves
I honestly-
before we
I was just
start?
trying to prop
I
the
think
CFDs
it
up
just
a
has
little
No,
to
bit.
I think, I think it's got so much potential, and I just feel like it's never delivered. Even now, even jumping back in months and months later after all this content's been added, there's just something about the game where it leaves you feeling unfulfilled. But you see the exponential just amount of things that there could be there to do. So
Yeah, I mean, it definitely still feels the same. It's still a grind fest. All the other stuff is locked behind like a leveling rank system, which I can appreciate, but they need to give you like something. At least show me what's ahead, so I can be working towards something.
But does
Yeah,
it have
and
future
then-
potential?
a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be like like Destiny, where a year later you have more of a complete game. But it's made by Rare, right? It's published by Rare,
Yeah.
and it's just their track record. It's like, I don't know. You just have this expectation with their games, and I feel like Sea of Thieves still isn't there.
Like Banjo-Kazooie,
Mm-hmm.
It's just
which was 15 years ago.
it's one of those games where you really just have to make your own fun, and I can definitely see how that hits some people, but that's not the way I play games, so it didn't hit me at all.
So why is Red Dead better?
Well, we don't need to talk too much about Red Dead. We can save that for the next round. Because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we're just gonna
Chalk it up as
So-
a dub.
That was a quick one.
It's a typical 1 versus
Yeah.
16 matchup.
That's
very
true.
easy.
That's true.
But one thing I will say for Sea of Thieves is it's definitely a pretty ambitious title.
It's a lot of fun for $1, so if you can play it for $1, give it a shot.
Yeah, Game Pass is $1 right
Yeah,
now,
right now.
Right,
So.
exactly. Yeah.
So next we have our 8 versus 9 matchup, which is Ni no Kuni 2 versus Hitman 2.
Those
one's
are
gonna
very
be tougher.
odd. Yeah.
This is like the one matchup here where I'm still torn on which one I want to
Talk.
Wow.
Talk. I don't know anything about this game, so can we get a fill in here so I have some sort of understanding about
Should
it?
we?
Why does Hitman even deserve to be on here? Did it like change significantly over the last one, or is it?
No, Hitman 2 is it's a continuation of the first game. There is a story in Hitman 2 that is literally just picks up where the first Hitman ended, because Hitman 2 was supposed to be season 2 of Hitman, and then it was released as its own individual game. But they did, but Hitman 2. I mean, it expands upon the original Hitman. Things are changed. There's new like mechanics within the game engine. You can blend with crowds now, which didn't exist before. They added the briefcase back into the game, which I guess was a big piece for previous Hitman fans, like the OG Hitman fans. I thought the game was good. I beat the story, but I didn't get to play any of the thing that people really play these new Hitmans for is like the contracts mode. But you have to be able to go online for that. I didn't have online connection when I was playing Hitman 2, so I don't know. Maybe we talk about that later, but I only played the story, and it was pretty much point A to point B. Ran right through it. Didn't have any issues.
Did you just follow the opportunities they gave you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I followed I didn't do all of the opportunities. I didn't go back and replay levels, but when I was exploring, if I ran into the little prompt where it said story revealing, I would just kind of run with that.
So it sounds like that game's way more interesting than Ni no Kuni. It kind of reminds me of like a grind session from Final Fantasy. It's definitely very like level your person up, and then you can fight these bigger monsters. It even has like mini games and stuff included in it now too, which I'm not sure how I feel about all of them. Like one is like it's like a Japanese warrior type game, Dynasty Warriors.
Okay.
It reminds me of that.
I didn't like those sections, honestly.
No, they were I was not a huge fan of that. I don't know. Like, the mini games didn't really do a whole lot for me, but it was interesting to throw it in there. It kind of mixes it up, breaks up some of the kind of repetitive gameplay aspects of it.
Did you like the story?
So far, I like it.
I guess, do you like it? Yeah, you're still playing.
So far, I
Bought
think
it. He bought the game.
it
doesn't buy any games.
True.
He bought the game.
I don't normally buy games.
I mean, in fairness, it was like what, $12 or something.
Yeah, it was really, really cheap.
Yeah, I think the combat is a lot of fun.
Yes.
What do they call it? The higgledies, right?
Yes, those are really fun. I only have, I think, only like 8 of those so far. But they all have a different like power up, basically. Right. Still, I think my favorite one is still the cannon, one of the original ones.
Oh yeah,
because you just go around for this little circle of these Higgins or Higglins or
higgledies.
Higgledies.
I think that's the
you
word.
run up to the group of them, and they have like a little like they give you like a little flare basically above them, saying that they're ready to do something. You run over, hit triangle or whatever. And then they just like spawn this massive cannon that's like, we're just going to attack random enemies for you for about 5 minutes. It seems like forever, but...
Have you gotten to like the base building part of it? Like you're building a big town? Okay.
I think that's where I'm going to next, because I'm at the area, I'm basically getting into like a little prop plane and flying somewhere.
There's almost like a little, it's kind of like a free-to-play mobile game in a way. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Trust me on this.
Okay.
It's like you're building up your base and everything is timer-based, or you can use like the in-game currency to speed it up.
Okay.
So it's like, I want to build this, I want to upgrade my blacksmith shop. Oh yeah, that's either going to take 6 in-game hours, or you can pay this amount of gold and it does it.
When you say 6 in-game hours, is it like...
So you go do other shit, you come back.
Like I turn the game off, go do something else, come back?
I don't remember if it's in-game or... It might be...
Like force like game on time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works, but it is just...
That's kind of weird that they do that. Is that a main...
No, but it's cool.
Is that like a core concept of the game? Like, is that required to do?
Not required, but you will want to build it up so you can like buy better weapons and stuff.
Oh.
So, like, yeah, if you upgrade your blacksmith shop, when you go back to your town, you can get better weapons.
But you need to. I mean, like,
you don't really need to.
But should you if you're...
I mean, you can find the weapons around the world.
Yeah. Would you struggle to beat the game?
No.
I guess that's definitely not... I think that's a positive then. The fact that it's just something extra in the game. If you really like that, you can do it. Otherwise, continue playing.
There's also, like, 100 and some villagers that you can find that'll live in your town. So, like, you go to a different place and they'll be like... Hey, I need you to do this random quest for me, and if you do it, I'll come to your town, and I'm a baker, so I will sell you, these baked goods that you can use to heal in battle or whatever.
Interesting.
And it makes sense to the story since you're trying to rebuild your kingdom, basically.
Right.
I guess I would say to you, which sequel is better? Because you have played both of them.
Okay, so Hitman 2 is
continuation.
Is a continuation, and it's a like they added a couple of things, but it's basically just Hitman 1.
Yeah,
Kuni 2 is like a completely different game.
Completely different. Yeah. They developed it, advanced it, and because I would say like with Hitman 2, it didn't seem a whole lot different than Hitman 1, and there were areas where it went backwards too.
Really?
Maybe like the cutscenes was a very specific thing. Yeah. Like the story has, when you finish levels and things like that, there are cutscenes, and in the first game they were animated and like tons of horsepower behind them. But like this game, they're just it's like slideshows with text backing them, and people were talking about that was kind of because Square Enix screwed over IOI, and then another studio had to pick up the game, and that's kind of why it feels like maybe that piece was maybe rushed with the game. But there doesn't seem like there's a whole lot new with Hitman 2, and I almost feel like as much as I bitched about the episodic release in Hitman 1, I almost think is like the best way to play a Hitman game, because there's more incentive for you to keep replaying that one level that's out and go in and, like you were talking, all those unique things, try all those out. You don't really do that in Hitman 2. You just move on to the next level unless you're like a diehard. Yeah,
it even tries to tell you, like, you finish a level and it's like, hey, there's a lot of other stuff you can do. You want to do that level again? And it's like, nah, next one, please.
So you have to play Hitman 1 to play and enjoy Hitman 2.
No.
The story-wise.
No.
Oh, well.
The story is whatever. It's like global conspiracy. Yeah. It's not like that's not the reason to play Hitman.
And same for Nino Kuni in terms of you don't have to play the first one.
Right.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a pretty solid introduction.
They are loosely related. Like, there are some threads between them, but it's not.
Well, the world, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to say anything because of spoilers, but there are a couple of things. It's like, oh, that's from the first game.
I did think the first game's story was better.
I will say that
the White Witch.
I agree.
The first 100%. Hitman, I don't think that was even in our Game of the Year. Like, I don't think it was nominated.
I'm sure it was.
Was it?
I don't know.
Hitman?
I would have nominated that.
It would have been. It wouldn't not have been. It would have been a couple years ago. Yeah,
before we
too long ago.
And I probably would have been complaining about it. But it's like now you see the other end of the spectrum. And
so just listen to me.
So that's the thing is like these new Hitman games are probably closer to the older school Hitman games versus like one of the first Hitman games that I played all the way through was Absolution, and that was more of a story. The level completion took longer. It was more linear and had it wanted you to do specific things, not like these games where it was an open sandbox. But I think that like if you're into like assassination type of games and just sandbox, these new Hitmans are phenomenal. But I don't know. I think Hitman 2 just didn't do a whole lot to. It's a good game and it's on the list for a reason. But I don't know if you look at the original Hitman from 2016, if a whole lot has changed.
That's a good point.
Let's just do a vote.
You know, start?
Sure. I'm going to vote for Ni no Kuni.
Okay. Eddie?
Go. I guess. Well, no. Actually, fine. I'll go.
We'll ask
I guess,
Andrew last.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah, Andrew. Will
actually, let's just do that right now. Andrew, what do you think? It's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of changes my mind a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to vote for Hitman 2 just because Ni no Kuni 2, I think it's just not probably my style of game. So,
Austin?
Ni no Kuni 2.
God damn it. Because I wanted to vote for Hitman, but that's going to be 2 versus 2.
All right, since we can't figure out who's going to win this one amongst ourselves, we'll give Andrew a call.
Please leave a message.
Okay, never mind. Maybe we won't do that.
He voted Ni no Kuni.
Okay. So, Ni no Kuni is going to win that one by Andrew's tiebreaker online. Forza Horizon 4 versus A Way Out.
Fuck the Oscars. That's it.
I agree. Yes. I like A Way Out a lot, guys.
Are you serious?
Oh, like it?
Wow.
You didn't like it?
No, I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
It was fine. That's about it.
It just has a horrible matchup. And
it didn't.
Yes.
Forza
Does it?
Tough competition.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess, like, for me, driving games are fun, but they're driving games. So, like, A Way Out is... the reason I like it so much is because it's completely different from everything else. Like, I don't think I've ever played a game like that, forces co-op like that shows you both characters on the screen at the same time. Like, it's totally unique and something that we need as gamers. Like, how many co-op games are there now?
Not many.
Far Cry.
On the same screen.
Yeah.
That's co-op.
That's the thing that A Way Out has that we haven't seen in a long time. Like, everything is just gone to, if you want to play with your friends, you can co-op it, but you each need your own screen, and you need your own console or your own PC. A Way Out is like, that was the cool thing about Way Out, is one person had to own a copy, and then 2 people could play it together. And they could be in different locations.
Yeah.
Only one person just needed to have a copy.
So I played about half of it online, and then about half of it in person. So I got to experience it both ways, and both ways worked super well. And you could say whatever about the story, like the ending is pretty cliche.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but
sure.
It's you
can tell where I think the reason Way Out kind of gets a couple of the knocks on it is because you can tell that it's in India and its budget wasn't exorbitant, like
sure.
And they put their money towards certain things versus other things. We had some weird-ass issue the entire time we played the game with the sound clipping or something. And I don't know if anybody else experienced that, but we had, like, the entire time we played it was just these random moments where, like, we get weird clipping. And it, like, took away from the game,
Very
too.
distracting from the game.
It was,
sure.
yeah. So I don't know if it was, like, something that needed to be patched or got patched later, but when we played it, it was just kind of... This really annoying audio cue that would intermittently happen. But I liked like you were saying, the experience of a couch co-op.
Yeah.
Everything was very closely tied together, but it's like you don't have a whole lot of couch co-op games to even compare and contrast. So it kind of sits up there as this did it really well.
Yeah. It's kind of the same as the last situation we had with Ni no Kuni and Hitman, where it's like, here's one of these games that's completely unique from everything else, and here's a game that's kind of an iteration on the last one. So to me, the winner of that is the one that is completely unique. Even though it may not be technically as impressive, it's still like should be rewarded because of that for me.
Yeah.
But I could see myself easily being outnumbered here, so and I'm not going to die on this one.
My only defense for Forza, I guess I would say, because my opinion is basically the same as yours for A Way Out, like, wasn't a masterpiece of a game, but it was very interesting and unique. Forza is another racing game, like you said, but they tried, I think, it, like, almost tied in some more social functions or features, similar to, like Drive Club tried to do, but kind of fell on its face. Hey, you got a Drive Club shirt on. That's close. Wow. People bashing got a racing game shirt.
It's a free shirt from PAX. Okay.
It's true.
But you played Forza alone, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely
and we're talking, technically, these categories actually, or these games match up pretty well with these two categories because they were both games that are intended to be played with other people. I don't think...
you think it's intended to be...
Oh, yeah. 100%. Especially the Horizon games. The Forza Motorsport games, you can probably play solo. Those are more of like a sim-style game, but I've never played... I've played Forza Horizon alone, but it's way more fun to play with friends. The experience is just overall better. And with Forza Horizon 4, they did introduce this whole multiplayer enhancement that didn't exist in Horizon 3. So as soon as you are able to enter the Forza-thon section of the game, you're put into a server that's already populated with other people who are playing, like other real humans, and you can seamlessly join and leave their crew or whatever it's called, convoy. You can leave and join their convoy, which is something you couldn't do in Horizon 3. So there was this emphasis on like seamless interaction with other people, which kind of wasn't really the case in Horizon 3. If you wanted to do something with other people in Horizon 3, you had to drive to a area that was sanctioned for like multiplayer stuff. You have to do that in Horizon 4. And I think in Horizon 4 they added a lot more things to achieve or acquire. Like there's always something to do in Horizon 4, which in Horizon 3 after a certain point. Yeah, well, no, like, there are specific areas now in the game that have, like, progression trees, like individual story trees, which I don't even remember from Horizon 3. They had, like, the showcase events. In Horizon 4, they have, like, a drift story, a
story in quotes here.
Yeah, it's story, yeah. Like, they give you a car and you complete this event or something, and there's, like, I don't even know how many stages to complete that story, but there's way more of a progression tree in Forza, I would say.
Austin, thoughts?
I haven't played either one.
Oh, I thought you did play A Way Out.
No.
So Eddie, being I think you feel the strongest about Forza, but just compare the experience of playing with other people in both games. Do you feel like you? It's hard to quantify fun. But like, do you feel like you had? Do you feel like either was a replacement for other co-op games, or do you think they're both unique enough to compare that way? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, could you have replaced Forza with something else? I guess is my question, and had this same enjoyment, or do you think no, this stands on its own?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I understand your question.
I feel like Forza you can play with. You could have the same experience with anyone else. You're enjoying the other person's company more than having that other person in the game.
That's what I'm getting at, is because A Way Out has
like you're reliant on that other person, which happens.
But you can play A Way Out alone.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
No,
no,
it's not possible.
They have an online option.
If you have two controllers, I guess you could play.
You can't play through the story on it alone.
Nope.
I thought that you were able to do that.
Nope.
But when you beat the game, you're done. Right? It's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to go replay unless you're trying to speedrun it. But
I guess it comes down to this: like, do I want another way out? Like, do I need another way out game? And I would say no. I don't really think I do. I like what the game did. I had fun, but you could see where it was maybe lacking. It was just lacking because maybe the amount of money that they had to spend on it. I don't know. It's hard to compare a game like an indie-ish production versus like a huge AAA that's got years and years of experience doing what they're doing and just tons of money to throw.
But for this game alone, would you say, the game by itself, there's no sequel, no whatever, that's good enough to...
I think when we got to the end of A Way Out, didn't we watch all the endings? We were kind of like, what?
I know what I'm going to say. I know where my vote's going already. I'm not gonna say.
Wow.
I already know where my vote's going. I guess, but yes, I will agree with you.
I feel like I should be the last one.
Eddie, you inadvertently answered my question there as to like which type of experience do you want more of in the future?
Oh man, I always look forward to. Forza, and it's like, well, how can you always look forward to a racing game? It's the same thing over and over and over again. But I feel like that's not the case. The Horizon games have kind of changed with each iteration. They're now on their fourth iteration, and they just keep getting better and improving upon the series.
I agree.
The one thing I don't like about Horizon is you get
you can floss in the game. That's fucking stupid. That's if I see one more person floss in that game, I will uninstall.
There's no punch. So in A Way Out, if you screw up, you get punished and you have to start back over. In Horizon, for whatever reason, in this version, I don't remember if this was the case in 3, but it's been brought up now like way more than I've ever seen in the past. If you complete a race, you have successfully finished that objective, and you get a ticker saying you can move on to the next event.
Even if
That's
you
so
got
stupid.
12 out of 12,
That's so stupid. If I'm playing a racing game, my goal is to like win the race. And the thing that I love about racing games is the desire to want to win the race. And if I finish 12th, then I'm getting
I like to win video games.
I'm getting prizes for finishing last and screwing up. I don't know. That's kind of silly, but so I guess A Way Out has an advantage there because you can't screw up.
Participation trophy.
Yeah. Well, I hate the participation trophy.
It's pretty clear that your
you get a sticker. Congratulations for participation.
Your vote is obviously for Forza. Austin, you didn't play either. My vote's going to be for A Way Out, so I guess this is on you.
I mean, I'll pick one based on what you guys have said.
I'm gonna have to go with Forza.
I knew it.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm gonna have to go with Forza.
Forza, I had a blast playing it. It's great. I really like it a lot.
Like Eddie was saying, like we got to the end of A Way Out, and I think my reaction was, "That's it."
Yeah.
Like,
I just want more games like that.
yeah, more games like that. Now that they've dipped their toe in it. Like, I need someone to jump in. Like, I want it to be all in. I want like a AAA type title, like super polished. Like, give me Uncharted with that same concept?
Yeah.
That would be insane. Because they already kind of did that with like the Temple of Osiris with 4 people. Like, you all need to work together and get to this one point,
which we did not do.
Yeah, we put that at PAX like a few years ago.
I don't think the booth person knew that we knew each other, so they're like, "You guys are all being complete
you guys are assholes."
I mean, that's a good point though, because it's like the argument is being able to sit on the same couch and finish the experience. But I guess if you look at the style of game where it's like a co-op story and what's the involvement there and what is required, there are other games that are co-op that require other people to participate for you to finish the story. And it's just like, I don't know. There are things that what you said reminded me of Splinter Cell Conviction. There's a co-op mode in Splinter Cell Conviction, and it was disgusting. Like one of the greatest experiences that I've had. I don't know, and it's similar and different because because they're not the same style of game. Because in Splinter Cell you're supposed to be silent and assassin, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm still sticking with Forza.
It's fine. We can move that on.
Hi, Dakota.
See ya.
Good to see ya.
What's your vote?
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, here you go. We got a celebrity vote.
For what?
Forza Horizon 4 versus A Way Out. Have you played either game?
Played Forza.
Hey,
there we go.
There we go.
That's fine. Yeah. All right, so Forza moves on, and I don't want to say that Forza's like a bad game or anything because I really liked it.
So Forza's
moving on.
Monster Hunter versus Far Cry 5.
Monster Hunter World specifically.
Oh, Monster Hunter World. Worlds?
World. Single world. There's only one world.
Well, I don't know. I didn't finish the game.
Oh yeah.
You can't finish the game.
You can finish the game.
There's a story?
Yeah.
Well, the game's not winning,
Not
so
much
I guess
of
we
one.
don't... Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, no. No.
Well,
No.
we know where Caleb's both going, but I played a decent amount of the Monster Hunter, and I played a little bit of Far Cry 5. I didn't get to finish that at all. I know you finished the game in like one sitting.
I finished it.
Yeah, I didn't finish in one sitting, but I did finish. I've played and finished every Far Cry game since 3.
I played co-op.
including the Blood Dragon stuff, the side expansion
Yeah.
stuff.
And
I finished all those.
Primal as well for me.
Yeah, let's not talk about Primal. That game fucking sucked.
I liked it.
Didn't like that Far Cry game.
It's not great, but
Not
I liked
my
it.
style.
I liked it better than 5.
Really?
Oof. I was like, we're trying to intimidate. We're trying to.
Use your words.
What's the word I'm looking for? We're
Imitate?
Imitate, yes, not intimidate.
I was confused.
Imitate.
We're leaving that in.
imitate an Assassin's Creed game in Far Cry Primal. It just came out at a weird time because I think there was an Assassin's Creed game out, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Monster Hunter and Far Cry 5. So continue.
I just didn't get Monster Hunter. Like, I do not get the draw.
Yeah, you
I
didn't
agree.
get it.
I completely agree. I'm with you.
Yeah, I played. I'm like.
I was counting on you.
You need.
I sold it.
Andrew
I need
here for
Andrew
that
here. I played about 2 hours and I sold it.
I played about 2 hours and then didn't know if I wanted to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. Okay, what is the thing that's like? What's the draw to Monster Hunter? Like,
Killing the monsters.
yeah, but it's
hunting
not
monsters.
fun. It's
fun.
It's the same
awful.
fucking thing every single time.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's the kind of.
Guess you just don't get it.
After 2 hours, I completely understood what I was playing.
Yeah.
Okay, I will give you at the beginning of the game when it takes like 45 minutes to kill a monster. You're like, what is going on? with this
Stupid
game?
as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to describe it.
But hang on. Once that monster goes down, that is the best feeling in the world.
No.
It's
Not
just
really.
like,
No.
yeah, I
was-
did this.
Yeah, my
it took
thought
me
was
forever, but I
fucking
did it.
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
literally like,
God.
why
Yeah.
did this take so long? It shouldn't have taken so long.
Yeah.
This combat was so clunky for this fight.
Oh,
I'm
you
glad
just
that
weren't
it's
doing it
over.
right
Could
then,
have played
'cause the
4
combat's
matches of
great.
Rocket League.
Just bad at it.
Well, see, that's the thing is, it's like a hack and slash, and I'm probably not very good at hack and slash games. So this was kind of
I will say it doesn't do a great job of telling you like the full moveset that you have available.
Yeah.
'Cause there are a lot of different like combos and stuff you can do that it just doesn't tell you about.
I just feel like if you compare it to other games that function that way, where you're not like, it's not like an FPS, but it's like a sword and shield type of game. I just feel like there are other games that do combat way better. I think Assassin's Creed new RPG style combat isn't even that great, and I would have much rather had that control in Monster Hunter than I feel like I did in Monster Hunter. I don't know.
It's also purposely a little bit deliberate. You could say slow or clunky.
Yeah.
It would be a different word for that. I'll say deliberate because it wants you to really make sure that you understand the action that you're about to do. If you wind up for a huge attack, it wants you to make sure you know that that is a huge risk that you're taking to do this attack. So it's purposely a little bit slow so that the monster can come attack you while you're trying to charge up.
The other thing that I didn't really enjoy or didn't understand, maybe I was just doing it wrong, but whenever I did finally kill that big monster, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Killed it. What do I get? Just a bunch of shit.
You get a
Well,
bunch of stuff
here-
that you
yeah.
take to the weaponsmith, and
Yeah.
then they make a
So
better
here's the
weapon
thing.
so that you can kill bigger monsters.
Here's the thing. I
Yeah, that progression was so slow, though.
I don't have that experience. I didn't play the game long enough, and I kind of want to play it some more to get that better idea or understanding of how that works. But
You
if we're talking Monster Hunter and we're talking the style of game it is, a looter hack and slasher, not a looter shooter, but it's got that end game in mind, probably, right? You have your story, and then you have your end game where you're just grinding out enemies, and you're grinding out for. There's things to grind for, and I know that experience because I play the shit out of Destiny. And if it's anything like Destiny's end game, I can totally see where people who love this game love it, and I know exactly why they love it.
Play for hundreds of hours.
I know exactly why they love it.
Yep.
Without a doubt. Like if that's the draw, then I get it.
This is another thing too. Like I'm assuming that you guys all played it solo.
Solo, yeah.
Yep. And that makes everything even slower. But if you call in other people for help, it goes way faster.
Like just randos?
Yeah, I use randos.
I say if you're with your buddies, I think it'd be pretty fun.
It was pretty funny, and like this might come across as just slightly racist. But when I would call in for help and I would see Japanese characters on the side of the screen, I'm like, oh hell yeah, this guy's gonna be good.
Well, that's how I feel when we're playing Overwatch and ranked. Like, our team's stacked.
So I was super hyped for Monster Hunter to come out, and then found out that it was only going to come out on console first, which pissed me off because I'd much rather play it on a PC.
Well, it's not on PC now, but
it's on PC now. But the other thing about PC is it kind of runs like ass. Actually, it does run like ass. Which
when it launched, it did, but it's been patched.
It still runs like ass, and it's got all the patches.
Wait, Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
On PC?
On PC. On a GTX 1080.
I haven't personally played it, but I've heard that it's
on a GTX 1080,
pretty...
like, I don't know.
Is it like, is it the equivalent? What was the game we were playing on PC recently? And you're like, I have a 1080, this should be running amazing.
Call of Duty. Either way, Monster Hunter didn't run that great on PC, which also kind of, I was like, it looked good. It did look good. There's so many things that I want to like about Monster Hunter. I just haven't played enough of it. But I get the reason why. I love that when you go and look at how long to beat, it is hundreds of hours to complete. And it's not like hundreds of hours of bullshit grinding probably in between things, but like you're always doing things. There's just tons of crap to do. I like that they have like holiday events. I know that they have a specific gear that you can work towards in like for seasonal things, which is awesome. I like that aspect that they're always adding content to the game to do, which is not like some of these other games that have long completion times, and it's misleading because it shouldn't take that long to complete. But
okay, so let's shift over to Far Cry. The story in Far Cry 5 is probably, I'm not even exaggerating here, probably my least favorite story of any video game I've ever played. Okay. It's terrible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's found there.
Did you play it by yourself?
I'm talking about just purely the story right now, and the story's not going to change.
You can't. Unfortunately, no Far Cry story will ever beat or top Blood Dragon. Because that story was too funny.
It's just like the ending just left such a bad taste in my mouth.
When you said that you were not going to like the ending of this game, and I got there, I was like,
this is fine.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah,
none of your choices matter. It just invalidates the entire game, basically, because nothing you do changes what happens there.
Oh, I see. So you didn't really have any influence on the choices.
I mean, at the end, no matter what choice you make, there's a nuke that goes off in Montana, and literally everybody dies.
And apparently, you were supposed to pick up on that early on in the game, like
radio. You were saying that. There's somebody radio
what you do that doesn't change. So, literally the entire game is useless. Like, everything you do in that game is completely invalidated because the nuke's going to go off regardless.
Right. But you're saying there's a radio?
So why did I even do any of this stuff in the first place?
No.
There's a radio?
I get that.
It doesn't come out of left field, basically. There are hints of it.
Oh, yeah. So you had to listen in.
I never really got,
there's attacking coming. Interesting.
I did like the acting and the characters, like those main antagonists. Like, I thought they did a good job. Mm-hmm. They were solid from a standpoint of these people are kind of fucked up. Which, I mean, that Far Cry 5 for me though wasn't about the story. I really liked kind of how they reworked some things with the way that the Far Cry game itself works, rather than looking at it from the story perspective. Mm-hmm.
So how early did you find out that the nuke was like?
Oh, I googled it. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh, you googled it?
Yeah. Okay. So I was looking up did I fuck up?
How do I change this course of action?
Yeah. See. Okay. So I mean, if I had a Monster Hunter hour count into Far Cry and then that shit happened, I would be pissed.
So the other thing is, you can, like with a lot of the Far Cry games, there's a quote unquote ending at the beginning,
Which is awesome.
If you literally don't do anything, then the game just ends and credits roll after like 10 minutes of playing.
What?
Yeah.
In what game?
When you go
Far Cry 5.
to handcuff the cult leader,
Yeah.
what's his name? I forget his name, but when you go to handcuff him in the beginning, if you don't handcuff him,
That's at the very beginning.
Yeah.
the game ends.
In like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And
you guys just leave,
And that's
and the
the
credits
best
roll.
ending.
Wait, so you captured?
How is the best ending of the game
Yeah, so-
10 minutes in?
I guess that's
You
one way
just
for the
in
developers.
that church when you
Yeah.
walk into his church, you just don't handcuff him.
You just walk away.
You wait for like 5 minutes or something. I don't know how long it is, but you wait and wait and wait, and then somebody says, "All right, let's get out of here," and then you turn around and you walk out, and the credits roll.
For like what reason? You just say fuck it, like
Yeah, they just put it in there. But I think that's kind of cool that they did that. I don't know if
But that's the best ending. Come on, like you can't do that. The best ending can't be "don't play my game." That's
Well,
really dumb.
well, the other thing is, like, they could just have you walk out and say failed. I'm like, ooh, that's dumb.
no. See,
Like,
but
I'd
I'm
rather
glad.
it be like
just
somewhat
put a
humorous.
physics wall there or something.
I'm glad. Like Far Cry 5 did a lot of things that I think add value to the series that I hope that they
Oh, you like the bliss bullets?
put in new games. Yeah.
Every half hour you get hit by a bullet from an invisible enemy and then you get kidnapped.
So
Also ran great on PC.
Yeah, so there was that one the northern section of the map that you're trying to clear where it's the former military officer, and you every time that they did that cutscene with him, you had a specific thing you had to complete that like trials run through that you had
It
to
was
make.
the same every time.
That was it. Continued building on it every time. I enjoyed that though.
Oh my God, no.
And he kept saying, I forget what he was saying, but you continually heard that, and like as I did it every time, I'd be like, I started chanting along with it. I was like, oh yeah,
my
we're
God.
back in it, dude.
You were abducted by the cult, dude.
Yeah.
That's why you like this game. You're part of this cult.
No. But the ally system was cool.
Yes.
I think I wouldn't normally go out of my way to unlock things in like games. Like I kind of like trying to get through the story, and that's my goal. But in Far Cry, I knew that like there were these allies that I heard could do cool things, and then I read something about doing the stunt trials. I forget his name, but like Evel Knievel trials.
Yeah, the airplane stuff.
Yeah, and I heard do both of those things, unlock your allies, and I'm so glad that I did because I think that ally system in Far Cry 5 is awesome. Being able to have like guns for hire, kind of so that you're not really playing alone. You kind of have a partner with you at all times, and then that Evel Knievel, the trial stuff was fun. The gunplay was standard Far Cry gunplay. It didn't seem super grindy. I didn't feel like I was dying all the time, which I feel like has happened in previous Far Cry games. I don't know. It just seemed like the progression was good. The difficulty level, the mechanics of the game were fun, and I enjoyed it for that aspect. The story, whatever. I mean,
I had a reason to go back and keep playing the game.
Yeah, just we all died at the end.
Monster Hunter, I was just like, no.
They're very different games. Far Cry has a very definitive end, I would say, right?
Oh yeah.
But like
I would say it's pretty definitive.
well, not even not story, but like because there is multiplayer and stuff in Far Cry, right? Did you ever play the multiplayer? Like
I'd co-op, not the multiplayer.
You never played like the battle, the shooter.
No, my
with the
dad and I did
multiplayer?
co-op. We co-op the whole game.
But Monster Hunter's like, man, you go back and go back and go back and grind and grind and grind. So,
yeah. So I'm choosing Far Cry.
Oh, Far Cry ran like ass on the PC too, which
Really?
again,
I thought it was
I don't understand why these games.
Maybe it's just your computer.
It's not.
Yeah.
Every game runs like ass.
Except for Rocket League, huh? All right. Well, I feel like Caleb might get a little disappointed here.
Me
Seems to be a story
and
of the
Andrew
night.
will be in solidarity over here.
No, man.
needed
See,
him
I
here
think
for this.
if I'm looking at Monster Hunter though, and reimagining that as Destiny, I'm fucking fighting tooth and nail for Destiny. So I would probably side with you and be like, just knowing the people who are playing Monster Hunter, it is that type of game where you always got like shit to do, and the grind is real.
Dude,
like
when
you
you're
always want.
when you're on like
out.
minute 45 of that fight and you're down to your last, if you faint,
Do they have like raid
Minute
things in
Kind of. There's like a monster you can go to in a special area.
With like multiple people, like a group of like 6 people.
Not 6, 4.
4?
Yeah.
Are there like puzzle things, or is it just straight like you go straight to
it's
the
pretty much just straight there is kind of like environmental ways you can damage stuff. Like you can, if you lure a monster under a rock slide, you can shoot the rock slide and it does a bunch of damage. There's stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not mandatory. You could just hack away at it. But like when you faint, you get taken away on a cart, and then you get brought back on a cart. So it's called carting. And when you get 3 of those per monster, and when you're on your last cart, you're at like minute 45, and you're running low on health, and you can see it swinging for you, and you dodge perfectly, and you do a few more hits, and it goes down.
It's exactly like the fucking like a raid in Destiny. You only have 1 revive token per person in the raid with you, and if you use all those, it's like
you see
the stakes
somebody,
are real, or you got
somebody come in from the side and at the last possible second stun it, and then it goes down. You can do a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And if that doesn't happen, you start the whole thing over, the whole encounter over. There's no like you go back to 50% health, you go full bar, try again.
Yep.
So then you get 3 more
mission
attempts, basically. Once that happens.
Well, I mean, you get to try the monster as many times as you want.
But you said you can cart 3 times?
You can cart 3 times in a fight, yeah.
Okay. And then you have to, like, if you had any basically boosts or whatever, any buffs, you have to reapply those as well.
And I have such a... To be honest, like, I have a bias here because I'm better at a shooting game, like an FPS style game, which is exactly what Far Cry is. Like, it's way easier for me to play a game like that than it is for me to learn a combat mechanic or style of game that I'm not. It's not something that I play on a regular basis.
One of the big things for me too was the community surrounding it. Like the Monster Hunter subreddit is incredible.
Exactly,
it's so cool. And it's like, who's gonna go in the Far Cry subreddit?
See, I'm looking at Monster Hunter, and I'm not visualizing Monster Hunter. I'm reading into something else because I know the experience that's taking place there. So
yeah, who's like, there's nobody like theory crafting the best way to kill a boss in Far Cry.
Yeah.
And we could do it 10 seconds faster if we use this method.
Yeah, although
the
flamethrower, there were some funny posts on Far Cry when the game first came out, like using the flamethrower on like a turkey, and then that turkey was like killing you while it was on fire. It would go crazy and just attack the shit out of you. But
I think that Far Cry plays fine. I think that's about the extent of the good things to say about that game. But I mean, it's 3 against 1 here, so I'm not going to win this fight. Actually, 3 against 2. I'll take Andrew because I know he's on my side with this.
I'm already in for Monster Hunter. I'm in.
Oh, God damn it!
Well,
wow.
I'm in.
Thanks for betraying.
Did I flip you?
Yeah, you.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking at Monster Hunter like the equivalent that I know and love and play on a regular basis. Like that's the shit. Like that is my top game. I know if that's the case, which that's definitely what the case is. It's too easy to decide that. Playability, like you're always playing it. Far Cry is like here. It's a timed experience. You play it once. How many times are you going to go replay the story? Yeah. Everything that Far Cry 5 introduced, the co-op, all this other stuff, awesome. Love that they did that. Good addition to the series.
Can you tell us about the co-op a little bit for Far Cry? Like what stood out to you?
What was your name in Far Cry? What was your guy's name? Recruit or something? Are you both? Are you like Recruit 1 and Recruit 2?
I mean, if you play Far Cry, well, did you do co-op on Far Cry 4?
Oh no, was there co-op in Far Cry 4?
Yeah, Andrew.
There's kind of you can like do a base or whatever together. It's not like, as far as I remember, it wasn't like you do everything together. Could you? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like you drop in, you do one thing, and then you have to drop out again.
No, you could drop in, and then you could do whatever, and then once you logged off,
maybe I'm thinking of 3. I don't remember now.
Yeah, so I mean, it worked well. I mean, for my dad and I, we just used the PS4 chat, and we never lost connection. We never had any lagging issues. We always would.
Could you use your allies when you were co-oping?
Yep.
2? You could use 2 allies, or did it knock it down to 1?
I don't remember.
Okay.
1 for sure. Maybe just 1, because we had the dog. And we had
dude. All the allies in the game were hilarious. The bear was great.
Yeah,
the bear was great. I used the
cougar.
I didn't use the cougar at all.
It was OP.
Was it really, dude? What I thought was OP was the plane. The biplane.
Yeah,
because he would just shoot everything down.
The cougar didn't break stealth. and it could one-hit things. So it was just
So you could just give it the command and have it clear a whole base for you?
pretty much.
Yeah.
So how do we...
Well, okay. Austin, do you think that Far Cry 5 is one of the best 8 games of the year?
Okay, you can't do it like that.
Well, I'm not sure.
Why not?
Because you're cheating the system here.
Because I'm trying to gauge his passion for the game.
I mean, is it better?
Obviously,
No.
I'm very passionate about Monster Hunter. I just want to know if he has the same passion.
I will not
Sure,
stand
okay.
here and fight you. Or throw myself down the stairs in support of Far Cry 5.
Okay.
I'll change my mind. I'll pick Monster Hunter.
See, but
I'm not going to stay here and fight. I'm not going to change.
get wrecked,
Do you like Far Cry, Nick?
The little bit I played of it, I thought
I
it was pretty
guarantee
sweet.
you,
Okay.
Yeah.
if he got to the end and he would be like, "Fuck this."
Yep.
It's a Larson reaction. I tee it up.
It's a
tee it up, dude.
Damn.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending really
I can
put me
hear
off.
you
Yeah.
saying it.
Fucking
Yeah.
kidding me? That's probably what I
Far
would
Cry
say.
was a solid 8 out of 10. I'm glad I played it, but I will not ever go back
Yeah.
and play it again.
Dude, yeah, it was real
definitely
solid.
not my
I
game.
feel like if
either.
I played Monster Hunter again, I'd probably fall asleep again. Probably.
I probably will too, but I'm saying if, you know...
Well,
I'm not going to
it's fine.
patch-
I don't care if Monster Hunter wins. I'm just saying that I'm not supporting that moving further.
We did it, Andrew.
Okay, Monster Hunter is moving
Hell yeah.
on.
I feel like this can be a pretty short conversation. I
Let's
hope
do it.
you got your.
Is that the one we want to do next?
I'm not defending Kingdom Come.
You're the one that wanted it on the list.
God of War?
Yeah, it's up
I think
against God of
everyone wanted
War.
that on
No,
the
Kingdom
list.
Come.
We need Tim Foley here for Kingdom Come. He
Is he a
played.
big Kingdom
He
Come
played.
fan?
I think he still actually plays it. Well, when he's not traveling to Mexico, and,
Texas or
this man
California,
travels all the
For
time.
what? Fun?
Seattle.
Well, both. He does a lot of
Europe.
concerts, traveling.
He's the guy that
concerts.
he'll subscribe
Asia.
to the flight newsletters, and when there's one that's like, oh hey, we have a last minute flight to blah 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 for $100, he'll be like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, moving on.
Oh, pop check.
God of. Yeah, that's definitely.
To get all our mics synced.
Sync all the cameras.
That's not the way that works.
Yeah, it is. Then you do a clap on camera to see when your hands connect, and then you get sound.
I guess you could do it for.
You get the sound connected with that.
Yeah, I've only heard that
Oh,
people
with
doing that
multiple
over
mics?
not cameras. But I guess that would.
That's
work
why
as
they.
well.
That's why they do the gate in cinema. Fun fact. All right, we'll have more tech tips at the next bracket. God of War versus Kingdom Come.
Boy.
All right, before we take
Who has the best boy impression?
not
Go,
me.
Caleb. Go. Say boy.
I no.
That was close, but put a B on it.
Bo.
There you go.
Boy.
Boy. Boy.
Boy.
Probably do a better Atreus impression.
So Kingdom Come, the inferior Skyrim without dragons.
Well, hang on. I don't want to just march this game out here to just decapitate it. So I want to say Kingdom Come is... I had a lot more fun with Kingdom Come than I expected to. It was actually pretty entertaining for a couple of hours. I don't think I want to play much more of it than that, but it was
Just a couple hours?
Yeah, I only played like 2 or 3 hours because I wanted to make sure I skipped it earlier, but I wanted to make sure I had some basis for this.
Sure.
So where are you?
I just got to like the hook, the village being burned and all that.
Oh, I'm maybe on that.
Yeah,
Like where you have to escape.
I got to
With
the
the sword.
escape with the
So
sword.
you played like a half hour.
No, I was like 3 hours, dude.
It's really bad at games.
It was probably.
I did have to restart several times because I did a bunch of bad decisions. I made a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah.
Triggered
I
nuclear
died in
launch.
jail once.
Wait, what?
So there's one
Did
of
you
the
forget
quests
to eat?
is no, there. It's like you have to recover. You have to get money back from this dude because he owes your father money. So you go up to him and like he's like the biggest dick ever. He's like, no, I'm not giving you any money. So you fist fight him, but like the controls of that game are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what to do, and he beat the crap out of me.
Yeah,
So
same here.
I was like, well, whatever. I'm just going to go steal stuff from your house, and then I'll sell it and get my money that way.
Nice.
He caught me stealing.
I mean, that's good thinking, though. I like that.
And then he called over one of the guards, and the guard was like, "Oh, you got to pay this fine." And I'm like, "I have no money. That's why I'm stealing stuff." So he's like, "All right, you're gonna have to spend a night in jail then." So I go into jail, and there's a fire in the jail. And
That's actually amazing.
So that's how far he got.
so
The fact that those are like actual vents that can transpire is really cool, though.
exactly, I didn't expect that at all going in.
A fire in the jail?
Yeah, well, the main hook, and this, I don't feel bad about saying this because it's in the first couple hours, but
Sure.
the main hook of the game is like, your father's a blacksmith. He made this impressive sword for, what is it? Is it the king or is it a prince or somebody?
Yeah.
And then the king or somebody, I don't even know who, attacks your village. So it like goes on fire and you have to escape and you have the sword with you. So you have to get revenge for your village being burned. But if you get put in jail, the village gets attacked while you're in jail. So that they just burn down the jail.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you are straight shit tier at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how to fight. You don't even know how to fist fight. You don't know how to sword fight. You don't know how to do shit.
You don't know how to read.
You don't know how to read. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you don't know how to read.
It's a really strange game because later
You don't know how to
on,
read?
I mean,
Well,
it's set in what, the
like 1400s or
1400s
1300s
or something like that. So, like,
Oh no, it's beyond before that, like maybe 1100s.
if you're a son of a
I don't know.
blacksmith back then, you're not going to know how to read.
Sure,
That's
sure.
for royalty, dude.
But strange.
You just
like,
go pick up the bread. That's your rolling life.
Well, I broke into some house at like 4 a.m. The guy was just like, I broke in. He's just standing there waiting for me. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I spent all this time learning how to fucking pick the lock. I opened the door. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, shit. And we start fist fighting, and I got killed, and I quit. So, yeah. It's a weird game.
That's where I quit. It was like, there's the fire, so I'm escaping with this sword. I have the sword in my inventory, but I couldn't figure out how to equip it. And this guard is chasing me, and I'm like trying to equip my sword. I couldn't figure it out, so he just like keeps hitting me.
Yeah,
over
it's
and
a
over
very
again.
strange. Yeah.
You can tell that. So I was looking up I'd never heard of this studio before, but like I guess they were formed in like 2011, and this is the first game that they've released. So you have to think that this game's been in development for a long time,
Right.
But you can kind of tell that it's got some age to the way that like it's all of its mechanics and systems work.
It really is a labor of love, though. You can tell. Like, they put a lot of thought,
a lot of
research,
it's-
everything.
Yeah.
The research is.
Yeah, apparently it's based on a true story as well. So, there's that.
There's a lot of cool stuff about it. Like, I would say it's not the type of. It's definitely not my type of game. It's very slow, and you got to spend a lot of time working at improving your character.
exactly.
But like even just getting through the beginning of that game, I was sitting there. I was like, damn, some of this stuff is like pretty cool. Like what I'm doing, like the whole money thing. I was like, I don't have enough money to go get what I need. So like I went into somebody's house and just started stealing their corn. Like I'm stealing their corn right now. Like that's what I'm doing. Like
If we had a title for this, it would be stealing their corn.
yeah, we're at this level, and there's so many like there's a lot of thought that went into this game. Like the bartering like system, you can go up and if you're trying to buy something, you can select what you want, and then you can barter with the person you're buying. Haggle with them. There's just a lot of probably cool systems. It's so deep, man. Like there's a whole novel in like the first 3 hours you're playing, just stuff you can read through on how to better understand how complex like the game is and what you can do, like everything you have access to do.
Just don't break into a house at 4 a.m. The chances are some.
I never died.
Waiting for you.
I never died in that beginning sequence.
Oh, you will.
I
Yeah,
was
you
getting
will.
my ass kicked in that fist fight, and I was like, "What in the shit am I supposed to be doing here? I can't even hit this guy without him landing."
I think that one's supposed to be unwinnable.
No, I
because-
won.
Oh, really?
I won.
Yeah.
Yeah. I beat his ass, and then he gave up.
The credits rolled after that.
You beat him up too?
No, I was just like.
Oh yeah, no, I finished beating him up because I was like, all right, I'm doing something wrong here. So I paused the game and went into like the combat screen and like how you're supposed to do the combat, which that combat reminded me of For Honor. I was like, man, this makes me want to fire up For Honor because it's reminding me of that style of combat right now. But I beat the guy up and then he's like, take what you need and get out of here. And so I took whatever I was supposed to take.
It's corn.
Yeah, but then so I stole, and the stealing is like if you're in proximity of people who know what they had in their house, they'll they'll report you. Like, they can tell if you've stolen their stuff, which is cool. So, like, there was somebody that I couldn't sell, like, radishes to because I stole them from their house. And I was like, well, I'm not going to sell them because I don't want to see I don't want to see what happens. So, yeah, definitely cool
Those
RPG.
are Timmy's next door. I'm not buying those.
It probably feeds that hunger for people who are looking for, like, some Skyrim style experience.
Yeah,
one thing I thought looked pretty sweet in the game, because I didn't get to play it, was the way that you load out your character. You guys didn't really touch too much on that.
There's not much at the beginning where you do
But you can eventually start doing layers of stuff, right?
I was reading,
unless I read that incorrectly.
If you equip a darker color shirt, then it's easier to stealth around because people don't
that's
see
awesome.
I did, I heard that some of the mechanics were broke. Like, I did hear that if you, like, spec like full stealth, like, even like heavy ass, like, chain metal or whatever, even if you were spec to stealth, you would never get caught by just, like, walking past a guard.
Gotcha.
There were a lot of cutscenes in the beginning too, but and they were all rendered, like, in game. So it never, like, took you out of the game. It was always, like, right in your face, but it just seemed like every piece was well thought out. The cutscenes, like, were worth watching. Like, sometimes I skip through cutscenes, but this was like
Destiny.
I don't really want to. Like, don't need to skip through this. Like, yeah.
You do learn how to fight later on, like, at least much more than than the beginning. They actually teach you how.
They teach you, like, as you get different weapons, they show you how to use that
like,
weapon.
you get to a bigger town later on. Like, I'm not sure if you, Caleb,
I didn't even get there, no.
They get to a bigger
he
town.
died in jail,
and,
remember?
Yeah, it's true.
I died in jail and then I died to a guard because I couldn't figure out how to equip a sword.
Yeah.
And then he uninstalled.
Yeah. If you get poisoned, you're
I was
really
like, that's
screwed.
enough. I know what this game is.
Like,
Really?
yeah. Like, I got poisoned. I'm like, okay, I'll try and sleep for 12 hours. Oh, no, you're
You can't
too
sleep
awake,
off
or
poison.
you've slept too much already. So you're like, oh, shit, I'm poisoned. I'm dying. I can't sleep anymore. So you try and run to town. Can't really find anything to, like, heal yourself. And you just slowly die.
There was a point in the game where I think I made it out of the town when we got attacked, and I was at the area that I had gone to, the town or the castle over, and my guy was super tired. And there's a thing in the game where you're in first person mode. It's a first person game, and your guy he starts blinking, like his eyes start closing, and you get that reaction on your screen. And I'm like, all right, like there's not a lot of games that do stuff like this. And I played with the controller. I didn't even play with keyboard and mouse. I kind of liked how they did things. Like the way running worked in that. Did you run at all? Obviously, probably.
You could run for like 5 seconds at a time.
And
but the whole, like, you hit one button to get your head running, and then as you looked, it would, like, snake. He would.
I didn't do that. I just ran in a straight
really?
line.
Oh, you just ran a straight line?
Because it was such a short burst. I just used it to, like, okay, I'm going to sprint to the edge of this block and then turn and then sprint to the.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we gave it its due because
It's tough going up against God of War.
Yeah, so God of War.
no, hang on. Let's just keep God of War conversation for the
Kinda
next
like Red Dead,
category
yeah.
because
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
like Red Dead. Just,
I mean,
just
I mean,
moving on. We'll get
if
to
it was
it
against
later.
any other, if that was against Forza, like Kingdom Come, it would have beat Forza.
I think you might be right. You might be right. It was just a tough matchup.
Yeah. Andrew, do you need a beer?
Oh, I see. That's a good pick. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a
Revolution's
good one.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I think you'll like that, Andrew.
So this is going to be Spider-Man versus Vermintide.
2. Vermintide 2 is a lot like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So you pick
Why
one
didn't I
of
play this?
5 characters.
Dude, no, I mean, there's like 5 core characters that
They all
each
have
have
variations.
each have 3 subclasses, kind of like
Right.
Destiny. You have
Dang.
variation styles of play, which didn't exist. It didn't exist in Left 4 Dead. So that was what was kind of cool about this. This had like an RPG element to that.
Yeah.
To that style of Left 4 Dead style of game.
But it's a lot like Left 4 Dead in the, like, it has a linear type level that you're fighting to get to the end of. There's special enemies that come out.
There's a what's the AI called in Left 4 Dead? The director.
Yep.
It's got that director type experience where it's a linear level, but you need to keep progressing, because if you don't progress, you're gonna get fucked.
It can tell, like, okay, everybody has an extra health pack right now,
Yeah.
so we're gonna throw a bunch of stuff at them. like it can tell that.
You get the like in Left 4 Dead, you had these zombies like swarms. Same thing in this game, but the zombies are rats.
Mostly rats.
So you're getting swarmed by rats.
Like actual rats?
Yeah, yeah, rats.
Some
with
of them have armor
and swords and things. Yeah.
It's okay. So it takes place in like, think of like medieval type setting, but it's also the apocalypse.
Okay.
So it's the evil thing has won and is wiping out the rest of humanity.
$30 game too. The developers knew that they weren't putting out like a $60 title. I
There's
guess
like 20 some maps. There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
you had a decent amount of stuff to do for your investment, which I thought was really cool. Tons of sales when the game first came out, because I hadn't heard of the Vermintide or any. I didn't know that Warhammer made stuff outside of RTS.
Yeah.
And this was the first I'd ever heard of that, and I was like, I wasn't interested in playing it, and then my friend convinced me to pick it up, and I put a chunk of hours into the game.
Yeah, you guys played that for a couple weeks straight.
Yeah, super. It's exactly like Left 4 Dead. It's the same experience, just with a modern twist on it, with that RPG style element where there's a progression system that didn't exist in Left 4 Dead.
There's also loot. You pick up new weapons and armor and stuff.
You can make the levels more difficult too.
Yeah.
There are things that you can like pick up, and you have to make it through the end and finish the level with certain things in your inventory. But those impact how difficult the level is.
Sometimes, like, yeah, it'll be like if you finish the level with a tome. If you find one of these tomes, then you get extra experience at the end. But that tome takes up your first aid kit slot.
Or knocks your overall health down too. Yeah.
Interesting.
So you're not you have to choose, like,
so you can kind of make yourself a glass cannon.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mainly glass.
Yeah.
Mainly glass.
It gets real hard.
I might have missed this at the beginning, so we can cut it if need be. But is there like a class selection too? Then
Yeah.
Like so, because I think you were doing like a lot of mage stuff, right? Like
yeah.
range.
So there's magic. Yeah, there's one character that has magic. There's a couple characters that are like melee based.
There's one that's more
sword-based.
defense and one that's more offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a tanky class. Yeah. So there's classes
an
and
archer.
subclasses. Yeah. It's got a lot of that RPG element to it, where you get to select your gameplay style, and then even take that further into like a specific subclass mastery.
Mm-hmm.
There's gear that you can acquire and adjust your loadouts, and so you don't have like the mage or whatever. Like the person who has magic has a staff, but there's like 8 different styles of staffs that you can unlock, and they all do different things.
Right.
Some of them are like a burst fire shot. Some of them are a single like laser shot. There's a lot of variety in the game. Tons of variety.
With the mage, you can actually overheat and kill yourself too.
Okay, that's awesome.
Wow. Yeah. Tons of cool. And same thing with the little tank. He's a dwarf. You can overheat his guns, and then you can't shoot. And he doesn't have like anything other than, he's got an axe, I think, but you overheat with him too. And
I played him as a melee character. I like never.
You never
used
used the range stuff. So yeah, tons and tons of variety. But
So,
I
kind of
didn't
wish
play
this
it.
was going up against like Kingdom Come. Honestly, like I feel like this would be better. Like,
So-
I guess it feels bad with the bracket.
The
There's a
game,
lot of good games. Like, it's hard.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like I want this to have like more credit. Like it should be getting more credit than just losing to Spider-Man. Feels bad.
the game has a 7 out of 10 on Steam. Why is that?
I feel like that's pretty high for Steam ratings.
Because
True.
I believe a lot of the negatives about the game are the developers kind of slowed the updates out after like the first couple months. There were major bugs and things that were broken in the game that weren't getting fixed.
I mean, honestly, I'd be too busy celebrating if I just published a big game like that.
Right.
Like, listen, we're hungover, so please excuse the slowness
Yeah,
of
it's like
patches.
I wasn't impacted majorly by a lot of that stuff. I think a lot of the other negative reviews I think are coming from, I didn't play any of the DLC. You could buy the game you could buy like the season pass with the game, so it was like $40 or $50 or something. But I just bought the base game, which was $30. Didn't come with any of the DLC. And now 2 DLCs have been launched. I think one of those was they remastered all of the original maps from the first game, and then one of the other ones was they added new maps. But I think there's been a lot of criticism over some of the DLC because people are saying that like some of the levels are just impossible to beat
on the highest difficulty.
And even like the base game, some of the stuff is super tough to beat just on like the easiest level. I mean, it's a hard game.
Yeah, we had to restart a couple of levels and we were playing on the easiest difficulty.
Yeah, it is a hard game.
Yeah.
So the developer is it's from not a fat shark. It is Fat Shark, which
a fat shark.
It's a fat shark. One guy. So cut him some slack now.
The other
the last one came out in 2015.
Oh, 2015, yeah.
And then 2018 was when Vermintide.
Yeah, the last DLC came out like last week or 2 weeks ago.
So they're still actively like adding on to this game continuously.
Yeah, another criticism I think was they don't have dedicated servers. It's a host. It's a peer-to-peer setup. So
that's expected.
If you had the host drop in your game, the map would restart.
They don't migrate.
It would try to migrate. Most of the time, it didn't work. And in a game like that, where it's super difficult,
it's like 45 minutes for a map too.
Yeah,
so
you would have to start all that over. It was not like Left 4 Dead where you'd start just back in the safe house or whatever. But
so was there a lot of issues with people like rage quitting and just doing that, or not really? Like people taking advantage of that, like I'm not having fun, I'm losing, you're gonna have a bad time.
I think that was probably another issue too. Is I don't know how they did like the matchmaking. I don't know if there was like an elo system. So sometimes you get super high level players. Like I got carried through a couple maps when I was really brand new to the game. Like the people were just mowing things down that I was playing with. But then there were other times where like I was the most advanced player in the game, and I had 3 newbies playing with me, and we just got our shit kicked in, and it was not fun.
I was just played with one other person and then 2 AIs, so I don't really know.
Oh, you played with AI?
Yeah, and they were fine.
Oof.
They were okay.
Yeah, the AI was
they weren't.
It was like Left 4 Dead AI.
Yeah,
it was nothing special.
But it was it in the same quantity of like there's a shit ton of like zombies coming at you.
Holy shit! Yeah,
like a shit ton of rats.
Dude.
And you have to play with 4 players. Like,
okay,
if you're playing by yourself, you can play with 3 AI, but there will be 4 players in the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it
sounds really awesome.
It was like Left 4 Dead style, and the endings were always like the end of a strike, and the best way for me to describe it, like end of a strike in Destiny, where there's a name boss, and you had to take out the name boss, and they all kind of had different mechanics.
Some of them were annoying.
Yeah, some of them sucked. Some of them really sucked.
But then I liked that game a lot. It's a lot of fun to play in co-op, but it's not going to hold anything to Spider-Man, I don't think.
And it ran well, so remember that for later. The game ran well. Performance was great.
It was before Eddie's computer.
Will that sway anybody?
Again, I don't think we really need to, unless anyone has any objections. I don't think we need to talk about Spider-Man yet.
Yeah,
we can hold that.
No, I want to talk about Spider-Man real quick.
Well, hang on.
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
we're
going to talk
later.
about it versus God of War. So maybe hold on.
Unless like if you're going to say Vermintide's over Spider-Man, then sure.
Right.
Okay. Shoot that web in the next round, baby. Let's go.
Yep. The next contenders: Super Smash Bros. Ultimate versus Detroit Become Human.
Detroit's a really good game.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Wow.
Smash Brothers.
Okay. I mean, so I actually didn't get to finish Detroit. And when I say I didn't get to, I didn't want to finish it. It was interesting. I really liked the concept of those games, like choose your own adventure.
Have you beat Heavy Rain, or have you beat, what's the other one?
Heavy Rain is the other one you're saying.
Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls? Have you beat either of those games?
I didn't play Beyond Two Souls.
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Souls. Austin's played Heavy Souls. He'll talk about that when he gets back. He's getting another beer. But yeah, Beyond Two Souls, did not get to play that. Detroit Become Human, that's what we're talking about. Heavy Rain was in 2010. Fahrenheit was 2005. I don't even know about that.
In America, it's called Indigo Prophecy.
Oh, really?
Indigo Prophecy, yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
And then Omicron was before that.
Nomad Soul.
Detroit, one of the best looking games.
That's the only one I haven't
One of the
played.
best looking games of the year.
Sure.
Hands down. Easy.
Sure, but it's a bad
And it
game.
runs well, right?
And it runs well.
Yeah.
Not on PC.
I don't know if it's a bad
Not
game
on
because
PC.
I haven't finished it yet, but
See, that's how I am too.
there were things that first night, that first sitting, we were all here. And I think you were playing it. But there were some scenes like with some real heavy hitting shit. And
Okay.
I would say that it like specifically the drunk dad. That was like
Okay. I might have to spoil the ending for you to explain why that's bad.
Which ending? It's like 18 endings, right?
Yeah, I might have to spoil.
I guess
fast.
so. I guess what I'm getting at is like it could be like a lot of the characters could have been like stereotypical, but like I think the people who were doing the voice acting and playing those characters did a pretty good job of nailing the characters.
I mean, what's
that they
it
were going
about? Just a
for.
bunch of robots liking,
No, there's
loving each other and killing
Yeah,
each
it's
other.
about-
I can't really tell you the end of it, but yeah, that was kind of the start off is like you're a robot, right? You're trying to merge, actual humans like with all these robotics, like taking over your human job. Like now we have a robotic cop investigating a crime scene, like that kind of thing. Like why is a robot doing my job? That kind of thing. That's where this is all taking
Where does it
place.
take place?
Detroit.
Oh, so it's after they've all killed each other. So it's after they've killed each other off. So robots have taken over.
God damn it. Yeah, but yeah, that's basically what it's become. Like, and even like the interactions.
Strike
like,
that.
when you're the robot, just there's multiple people you can play as, right?
Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah. So when you're playing as like one of the investigators or whatever you want to call
Connor.
him, Connor. When you're playing as Connor, even walking through the street is like you get interesting interactions. People yell shit at you across the street.
It's linear, but like
it does branch some, but I think what it looks like it's coming
the
back.
story
together,
branches,
though.
but like where you're able to go and what you're able to do is very linear. Like it's not like an open world sandbox.
Like when you're trying to go across the street, you're like, hey, I'm going to go up the street. No. No.
But like you said, there's things that occur around you that you can just kind of listen to or pay attention to that are pretty interesting.
I just
Why was it bad to you?
Okay, so in a world, I'm trying to remember the game that came out last year. I always forget the name of it. So there, in a world where we have these games like Soma is one example.
Okay.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is like in a world where those games exist and they have really interesting stories about AI and how ethics of AI works and how like who is a person and what is AI versus a human and where is that line drawn, where we have all that interesting conversation. Detroit comes in there like, oh yeah, but did you guys consider robots though? And it's like, you're trying to be really smart, but you're kind of
okay.
You're kind of not doing anything. It's like
they're a few years too late to the party kind of thing.
It's like if you go to the library, it's like the children's book version of a novel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just like very surface level stuff. It's exploring. It's like, hey guys, but what if robots were like slaves though? It's like, okay, who has not thought of that ever?
Wasn't that so?
Robots are, though,
but that's
they
kind
are
of funny that you.
Exactly.
That's kind of funny that you mentioned that because didn't the game get patched a couple times because people were like taking issue with some of the direction that the game was going,
Not necessarily,
and they made it more
It's
like
just-
like politically appropriate. I don't even know.
Not really. It's just more of like David Cage is trying to make something that's super deep, and it's not.
It's not. It's not
like,
getting passed on.
Too
Yeah,
many
dude.
robots were offended in the process.
Like if you've ever been in a high school English class, you've talked about this stuff before. You're not breaking ground here with these.
Yeah, and I think everybody's
scenarios.
expectation is like everyone's waiting for that David Cage game. That's like we all know what you've delivered in the past, but like deliver your pinnacle, like the best that you've delivered. And Detroit almost looked like that was going to be the case from all the trailers and stuff. And then it kind of didn't live up.
Yeah,
to
it definitely
the
sold
hype.
itself.
Observer was the name of the game I was trying to think of from last year.
Observer. Okay.
And it's just like where there's these games out there that do such interesting things, and Detroit comes in there like, sure, it looks great. Yeah,
Dude,
I mean, I cannot I can't
So
refute
good.
that. That's
So good.
but it does nothing for me and like you find out at the end, spoiler warning for anybody listening,
Spoilers.
huge spoiler warning, that the little girl that you save is a robot.
Oh shit. Interesting.
thought everybody was
That
a
is
robot.
really stupid.
I like that. That's cool.
It
Like, you knew that was coming kind of thing, or?
no, it's just like
Because that was Kara. Kara saves her earlier.
Kara saves the...
it's just like, okay, you did all that for a robot, and like,
But are you saying
Kara
that?
didn't know.
Are you saying that?
well, I mean, she should have because she's a robot too.
But really, maybe
Is this like a different style of robot? Like,
maybe
how
we're
do we...
going one deeper right now. David Cage.
All of these robots
Robots
were
are not
very,
aware.
were very
It
like...
just makes that whole story seem dumb. Like it recontextualizes the whole thing, and it just makes it seem like, well, I would have made such different choices.
Yeah, it's like they changed the whole puzzle at the
Yeah.
end. They're like, "Whoa, what about
And
this?"
he was trying to be like, oh my god, I can't believe that massive twist at the end, and I was just like, all right, David, that's dumb.
All right, well, we got Kayla's vote for
I've liked... So, like, the...
Whatever it's up against.
whatever. It's
I
up
think so from like that style of gameplay, like the games where you have like a short amount of time to like make it XB whatever on your controller, you have like 4 options you get to choose from. I think his games I've enjoyed the most. Like I beat Heavy Rain, loved it. It was super entertaining.
Heavy Rain has some problems, but it's way better than
Detroit was.
Slow at the beginning.
I liked the decision making in Detroit, but it's like you've got like the Telltale games that kind of have that. And I don't have the same experience with like the Telltale games, and maybe it's because they're not as visually.
Rest in peace.
I don't feel like I'm there. Like Detroit, it was like, damn, this shit looks like real good. Like,
Was that a 4K title?
yeah, 4K HDR, whole deal.
So Austin, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming you're going to vote for Smash here.
Yeah, might.
It might, really.
No,
So-
yeah. I'd
Oh,
pick
okay,
Smash.
okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
So,
wow.
so my question to you two is: Do you want to argue for Detroit, or should we move on?
Move on.
So it's Smash.
Yeah, let's just move on. Like, Smash is pretty fucking great. From what I
A
played.
new opponent enters the room or whatever.
A new challenger.
A new challenger has
I did
appeared.
upload it. All right, Detroit Become Human is going to lose that one. Feels bad. Smash Bros. Moving on. Next contenders: Return of the Oberdin versus Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Why the is this game on the list?
I don't like either of these games.
I apologize.
Did you play?
I
Did you
really
play
like.
Overdin? Really, and you didn't like it.
He's not an intellectual. He would not understand.
As an intellectual,
After 40 minutes, I was like, I got asked to go play another game, and I was like, all right, I'm going to play another game, and then...
Okay.
was it Destiny?
And then,
Ding?
no, it wasn't even Destiny, and then I just didn't have any interest or draw to come back to Oberdin.
How many
how far
ticks did you get?
Yeah, how far
How many
did you get?
ticks?
Yeah.
How far did I get? When you say ticks, like the
No,
scene...
So you didn't get far.
Don't worry about the ticks.
This,
How-
like
I
the
guess
scene,
that's-
the scene reset multiple times for me. I got to the point where I had revealed at least who one person was. So
The captain.
yeah, I think it was the captain. So I think like
Yeah,
I got
the very
what they were doing with the game, but I don't think it was like a game that I really. It's not my style of game.
Yeah, are you
it's
not into puzzle type stuff?
No, like I love like okay, when we're talking like puzzles, like let me solve a puzzle. Like
Do you like Sudoku?
no.
Okay, it's Sudoku.
But
Well,
if
yeah.
you give me like a portal game, like solve a puzzle this way,
Okay.
I fucking love that. But the Oberdin, I was like, this isn't the type of puzzle that I want to solve.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you see? Oh man. Okay. I'm
What
just
it was?
spoiling
No,
stuff all
no.
over the
Like,
place.
Did you leave the? So you're like, like the captain is shooting. Spoilers: the first person is the captain.
Yeah.
But the captain is shooting his gun, and you're looking at that, like the pause, the stop animation, whatever the heck it's called, or basically a 3D stop picture of it. So you go into his.
yeah, I got
cabin.
into the quarters. Yeah,
So yeah, you're in the.
there were
captain's
multiple
quarters.
people in there. Yeah, all that.
Did you get
stuff.
past that?
Yeah.
Like, did you go to the next scene, like outside of his area?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you'd remember. Did you see the big thing?
maybe I didn't
that's-
see the big thing.
Well, I think that.
Because
that is like right
That's-
after.
yeah, that's
Because
right.
I revealed the captain, so if it happened after you reveal who the captain is,
Okay.
like name, then I probably didn't get there.
It's like
You can
30
spoil
minutes
it.
in, so I'll spoil it. There's a giant sea monster in the next
I
scene.
didn't get there.
Explosions. Yeah,
No, I
people
didn't get there.
dying.
Have you guys played Finch?
So
Oh,
Edith Finch. What remains of
yeah.
Edith
Is
Finch?
it similar? Like this?
It's kind
A similar type of.
it's similar as in you're revealing a narrative slowly.
Yeah.
The mechanics are not.
I probably feel like I would have. I played Remains of Edith Finch a little bit, maybe like an hour. I probably played them about the same amount of time, and I'd probably prefer to go back to Edith Finch before I went back to the Oberdin. And that's strictly because maybe the way that Oberdin starts being presented to you as like the player, like they start showing you how the mechanics of the game work, like the revealing aspect and how you're going to piece together the story. And this book was fucking huge. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to finish this. I'm not going to finish
overwhelmed
this.
pretty immediately.
Yeah. Like they do a bad job of slowly kind of working you into that. They almost like throw all the shit at you. And they're like, here's this big ass book. You're going to fill it all out, but you're like, we're going to tell you like 2 or 3 things in the beginning. But there's a lot, like, you could just tell that there's a ton of stuff.
It's just so cool, like, puzzling people together.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
Okay, that person I know is this person because they, in this picture, they had a pipe. And I know that in their cot, which is numbered, down below the deck, there's a pipe hanging there. So that person is in that cot, makes it that person. And I know that they died here because...
Were you taking notes? Like, would you start taking notes on the side, too?
Piece of paper.
You almost have to unless you have really sharp memory, which I...
It's a slightly uncomfortable because you have to have this in your mind. But, like, you hear a guy with an Irish accent, and you can see the list of people, and you're like, oh, this guy's from Ireland. He's the only guy from Ireland. That's got to be him.
His name was O'Malley.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
But that ended up being true, though, for a couple people.
It's very true for a lot of
people. I think I might have almost... There was just something...
When that stuff clicks, it's just so
There was
rewarding.
something about the way the mechanics in that game worked that turned me off. I did not like the reveal stuff. I didn't like how that worked. And I didn't like how you were gated. You were fenced to specific things at specific times. The reveal stuff that you're talking about, that the monster, that's fine. You can fence that. You can gate that off for me. But the fact that like the beginning of the game, I have access to like 10 steps, like 10 square feet of something, and I can't go any further. I didn't like it. I didn't like that.
Yeah, if they gave you access to the whole ship from the beginning,
I probably would have fucking loved it though.
No,
you wouldn't. You would have never figured
Yeah,
out.
maybe not.
You would have seen too much.
Yep.
You would have too many puzzle pieces that are basically, if you think of like a puzzle, and then them being
building
like,
the
okay,
puzzle.
we're gonna. This is actually you're only looking at the very center of this puzzle.
Right.
We're gonna expand it.
This is how the
wider.
game starts.
Correct.
This is one piece, and then you're building out these pieces.
But I will say, like you're saying, like they didn't really explain how the game works per se very well. It's very confusing at first. Like I told Caleb earlier, I was like, the fact that like when you rewind time, right? When you do that for the first time, looking at a new scene, like you're forced to sit there for like an X amount of seconds, basically like a minute. Like, okay, I don't care. Like, just skip this. Let me look around, find the pieces I need, and then I will jump around to
I will
the
say
things I need.
that
to
is
go
my.
to.
What do you mean jump around?
So you can revisit any scene that you've looked at in the past.
Oh, by using the book.
No, you have to go back to the spot. That's my biggest complaint. You should be able to do that.
See, this is. I think the game.
You can maybe not really, but you can go look to see.
You can mark it in the book.
Yeah, you can put bookmarks in the book.
Yeah,
but you can also click on people, and you can show where you've looked
I think
at,
I like the concept.
Where they're at.
I think I like the concept. I didn't like the delivery.
Yeah, it's
not for everyone. That's for sure.
It's just a giant Sudoku puzzle where it's like, here are the clues. You just got to narrow it down. And it even gives you the option, like, you see a person there, and it's like, well, I know this is one of the captain, or one of the officers, but I don't know which one. So you can mark it as officer, just general. So that sparks you later. Okay, yeah, that guy was an officer. Yeah. It's just like, you just got to narrow it down.
And to Caleb's point for being like a giant Sudoku puzzle, it's like playing Sudoku, but you are actually, like, for you to go mark and like say this is not here, you would have to be like physically on the plane of Sudoku. You have to walk over there and then physically mark it. Yeah, that's the pain in the ass. That
the other
takes
brilliant
time.
thing that this guy. Keep in mind too that this game was made by one person.
Yeah,
which is insane.
But multiple people doing voice acting though.
I think that's the only thing that
because that would be impressive.
He even did the music, which is stellar, by the way.
Yeah, that was solid.
The biggest design decision that he made, the best one, is that you have to have 3 correct before it reveals. Mm-hmm. So you can't just brute force things. And like
you can, but
it would take
pointless.
It would take forever.
Yeah.
You could if you're confident in 2, and you have that third one, you can brute force that last one.
Yeah.
Sometimes and honestly, like some of those late ones are really hard to narrow down.
Sure.
So I ended up looking up like 10 of them because I'm like, I have no more clues here, and I'm sick of walking around the boat, and I just wanted to see the ending. But
can you spoil that? We don't have to put it on.
It's
there.
not.
It's not that good?
It's honestly not super interesting.
Oh,
it is what you think it is. It's pretty much just
Oh.
yeah. There's nothing revolutionary in the missing chapter. There's not there. It is exactly what you would think it would be.
Okay.
That was a little bit disappointing to me, but overall, like just filling out all those people was
How many were there? Was it 100 or something?
60 some, I think.
Because I did see the the ledger, like ship ledger of everybody who was on board. And when I saw that was one of those things where I saw that, I was like, oh Jesus, man, this is going to be rough, like hard. But I think the concept is cool. The art style was interesting in like this day and age.
I love
retro wireframe.
Here's what I was saying. What I was talking in our chat.
Like That's pretty much.
I really hope that at some point this game is ported to VR. That would be cool. I think I would actually play it again in VR because I think that art style works so well, and it would be really awesome to interact with in VR. In 2D or like just on a computer screen, it's cool. It's cool art style, but it would nail it in VR because I can instantly make a comparison to Super Hot in VR, which was just unbelievable. So I hope they make this in VR.
Yeah.
I'd definitely pick it up again and jump
we'll
back
have to at Lucas Pope for that one. Patch it.
So
Bring it over to VR.
He already said like some people have asked him about console releases, and he's just like, I am one guy. I will do things as fast as I can, but it's
you
gonna
guys.
be a
Here's the
while.
code if you guys want to bring it over.
Yeah. Well, I think he kind of wants control over it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, fun fact: this is a 10 out of 10 on Steam right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
How many? Can we see what's the count there?
I'm sure it's huge.
How do I see?
We got overwhelming positive. So like
all reviews out of 17, almost 1,800 reviews, and it's a $20 game.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fact that it's on this list is that's
See,
good enough that you should try it out.
Oh no! Again, everything on this list is you definitely got to fire it up and take it out. Like try it out because
Austin, I would just absolutely if there's anything on this list.
Did you mess around with
the
play
like now? It's this.
Well, it was only on PC, right? So did either of you mess around with the different ways you could display the game?
Yeah.
That was super
like
cool
IBM,
too. Commodore,
Macintosh,
IBM, Macintosh. Yeah.
I'm too young to appreciate some of those.
Are you?
I feel like I understand like some of those look very familiar, like the more greenish, like the basic Mac look, or even the brownish look. It's like, oh yeah, I remember playing some old games.
Oregon Trail. Yeah.
Oregon Trail. The original, like one of the original Froggers on Mac, played that. That was back in like kindergarten when I played those though. And then also Prince of Persia, played that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Really old game. That
game's hard.
Hated everyone when I played that. Played some really old Battleship style games, but yeah, definitely cool. It's also on Mac. There you go. I think you have a Mac, right?
Yeah.
That's your game on?
Yeah, I have a work computer to a work laptop.
It's a nice. You can actually install games on your work laptop.
It's a Lenovo.
We won't tell the rest of the people at the branch.
Well, when I say it's a work laptop, I mean like it's my laptop.
You mean, like,
I use it for work.
You don't work then, right? That's what that means if you have games in your work.
I mean,
computer.
it's my computer, but I use it for work.
That's
I can remote.
thinks.
Yeah.
You got games in your work computer. You don't work. Anyway, so
I think you guys obviously know what I'm going to vote for here.
I already know what I'm picking. Who wants to talk about Assassin's Creed?
I've only played for about 3 hours, and it's like a 60-hour game.
Is it really?
It's not a 60-hour game because they inject this bullshit grind mechanic in the game for no fucking reason. Also, no. I want to bitch about Assassin's Creed real quick here because what is it rated? It's rated an 11. I don't think it should be an 11 on this list.
It should be higher?
No, it should not be higher. It should be lower because
How did you even get to this list?
everybody. I don't know.
Caleb,
I'm sorry. I thought somebody would like it.
No. Okay, so here's the thing.
Crucify Caleb right now because he put it on this
No.
list.
Damn.
No one likes.
I will pick
I like it. I'm not saying
Assassin's
I hate it.
Creed.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed definitely deserves a spot on this list based on the things that happen later on in the game and the other things that you can do that are not tied to the story. There's a lot of shit that you can do in Assassin's Creed.
To get to the credits,
It's actually got pretty high reviews.
you have to kill all the cultists on that map.
To get to the credits?
Yes. You have to kill everybody on that.
So it's like Origins, where Origins wasn't really over until you finished all that extra. I don't even remember what.
The difference is that in Odyssey, the cultists that I have left, I have like 4 cultists left.
Yeah.
I am level 42. They're level 50. There's no way I can do that because they added in a mechanic where you can't assassinate things unless they're your level or lower.
Since you just said that,
and I literally have no more story missions left.
Here's my other gripe with this game, and that is the name. I do not think that these games, I'm talking about Origins and Odyssey, should be called Assassin's Creed titles.
I agree.
They have departed, which they've made very clear that they're going to this RPG style of game, but you can't be an assassin anymore. It's very difficult to, like you said, be a level whatever because it's an RPG and assassinate a level whatever.
Right.
You can't do that.
I stabbed this guy in the neck, but he just got back up again.
You literally can't. Yeah, you literally can't do that anymore. And it pisses me off because it's like, dude, I remember like Assassin's Creed were some of my like favorite games to play because that was the core mechanic was stealth and going up behind people and taking them out. And that
the first game is nothing but that. It's just like, how do I get to the person to assassinate?
And like, it wasn't easy by any means, but if you were able to make your way to whoever your target was, you could take them out. Now, with this RPG mechanic, there's way too many things going on for you to even be able to take out somebody whose levels ahead of you. It's stupid.
And I'm not going to grind out 8 levels so I can finish
and that was what was so annoying. Like, I started playing the beginning of Odyssey, and I was like, I love the setting. I love the Spartan. Like, I love this era. Like, where we're playing seems super cool. I like what's going on. There was a lot happening in the beginning of the game. The story was moving.
Did you play as Alexios or Cassandra?
Alexios.
Okay. And
I like that too. So this whole concept of you're going to be able to choose your gender or whatever. This whole thing, political thing that's going on with like games in 2018. That rubbed me the wrong way about Odyssey. But then I saw what they did with it, and I was like, that is a good way to do what you did.
The only problem is that I didn't play much of it. I played as Cassandra. I've seen a little bit of Alexios, and from what I can see, it is a quality dip. Like, huge
I've heard that
quality
too.
dip.
I've heard Cassandra's better.
Cassandra's voice acting's, like, infinitely better.
Really? Yeah. That's interesting.
So essentially,
you kind of like you got the worst version of the game just because you picked the guy.
Okay, but the concept is whoever you don't pick, the other character has a specific role in the game, and it's delivered that they have this role for this reason, and it like I like that's how it was done. Not like here's just like you can choose a male or a female, pick what you want. Go at it. No, that's not how it worked. So I like what they did there. But the beginning, like the first 6-7 hours of the game, having a really good time. The story was progressing. Your XP was progressing. You were making a lot of progress and being you're being rewarded for what you were doing. And then you hit a point in the game, like a level 10 or 11, and everything slows down a lot.
And you know what's convenient about that? For $10, you can buy an XP doubler.
Yeah. I still feel like they have a long way to go with turning this game into like a proper RPG. Because things just feel kind of sloppy still. Like I like the changes where now you can assign like specific abilities to like your A, B, X, Y buttons. Yeah. There's a skill tree.
But the problem with that is there are specific skills that are so much better than other skills.
Yeah, so that you only use certain things.
I was really struggling with that game until I respec'd and I'm like, oh, now I'm overpowered.
Yes, yeah. Again, they have a long way to go, but I kind of like... They've established that they're going to shift the series into this style of RPG, and I'm cool with that. I think they should not call it Assassin's Creed. I'm cool with them going in the direction they're going, and it seems like they're making progress towards really going that RPG route, but things are still sloppy.
There's a lot of potential.
This game had a whole lot of bullshit with it seemed like they really wanted you to buy into microtransactions to really speed up progression, because after like a level 11, so I didn't beat the game, and I'm not going to go back and probably beat it. I beat Origins, and I was cool with like beating Origins. I didn't have any issues investing the amount of time that I did. But with this game, I can clearly tell that I'm going to have to grind out like side missions that I don't give a shit about
Right.
to make progress. And I don't want to do that. Like, make it worthwhile for me. And they're not doing that. So I'm not going to go back and progress. But that system that you were talking about, what's it called?
The cultist.
The cultist system is super cool. They have a Shadow of Mordor,
Kind of, but it's way more simplified.
Nemesis symptom. They have like a simplified Nemesis system,
We need to move on.
which is cool. And they brought back ships in this game, and I was like, I'm out.
Overdid.
I fucking hate.
Let's go.
So Eddie is picking Assassin's Creed. It sounds like. So. In case we have
Dan, I think it's going to win that one.
Okay.
Any objections to that?
Nope.
No. I won't
All right, we'll move on.
Final 8.
Final 8, yes. All right, Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Ni no Kuni 2.
All right, so from here on out, I think what we should do is take an initial vote, see where we all stand, and then debate.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Ni no Kuni, no, kidding. Red Dead Redemption 2.
I also say Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2.
Red Dead.
Okay.
All right. That was lightning round.
See what I mean? Pew, 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 pew. Efficiency. We still haven't talked about Red Dead, but
We haven't.
Well, we can all assume it's going
We
to
all know it's going to lose. At
we
the
talked
end,
a bunch
so.
about Ni no Kuni, though. So we don't.
We
really need
did
to-
talk a decent amount about that. Forza Horizon 4 versus Monster Hunter World.
Initial vote.
Lot of sighs and groans around the table right now.
There's no way a racing game is going to make it to the Final Four. It's a racing game.
It could.
It
I mean,
has.
Just say what you
Hey,
noticed.
you
Say
heard
what you
it from the
noticed.
man himself.
Racing game. There's no way racing games can compete with other games on this list.
So you're
I'm
saying
sorry.
it hasn't broken out of the box of being just a racing game.
Right.
Okay, so I'm picking Forza.
I'm picking Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter.
All right.
Nick?
God damn you guys. This is a tough one. Like
This is the game that I wanted
Not-
Destiny to be. I have to vote for Monster Hunter.
I will say that in Monster Hunter you can't floss. So I'm going to have to go with Monster Hunter.
Wow.
No, I'm okay if you guys want Forza to move on. That's
It's not moving on.
Okay,
I
it's
wouldn't
not.
even. I wouldn't even vote for it.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Okay.
We have an upset.
Eddie is not voting. Put that in the record.
We have an upset.
Dang.
5/4.
I didn't
first time.
think that Monster Hunter would make it. but-
Oh, really? Forza was 4?
yeah. Its Metacritic was really high.
I mean, it was the best game from Microsoft in the past year.
Like, bold statement here.
Year? Or
Bold
years?
statement time. You ready for bold statement time?
Yes.
It may be the best racing game I've ever played.
Forza?
Yeah.
Are you
Forza Horizon
reconsidering your pick?
No.
No,
best
I'm
racing
not,
game?
because there's a cap on racing games.
Shit,
like
that's-
Eddie was saying.
That's
There's
the interesting thing about best racing game. I'm thinking like some old Gran Turismo as being like the best racing.
Isn't GTA
I didn't
Online
really
has
play
some
the
of
old
those
Gran
traits?
No.
GTA Online
Forza's
best
very.
racing.
It's very.
It's arcade racer.
It's
I
very
guess
welcoming. It's very
Well,
welcoming.
okay. It's more on the arcade. It tips to the arcade side, but it's
Yeah.
not arcade.
Yeah.
It's not Need for Speed.
No.
So, yeah.
It's in the middle
Burnout.
there.
Burnout.
Man, that's side topic. What other racing games? What would be the best racing game?
Burnout.
Racing
Of all
slash-
time.
Like Burnout, regardless of being sim
Burnout.
or arcade. Burnout games have been very
The best
very
racing
good.
game of all time.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. Fucking game fucking over.
Man, that
The
is
black-
rolled off the tongue. Just,
Dude.
Oh yeah, I've had this
There's
in the back
no
pocket. By the way,
There's no competition.
throws out
with
his
that
wallet.
game.
I'll buy it again.
No competition. Hasn't been a racing game that's been that.
Most Wanted 2 was that 2000? You said Most Wanted.
Most Wanted 2005.
weird.
It came right after Underground 2.
That was a good one. The original.
The Undergrounds were good, but then Most Wanted was where they introduced the blacklist, the top 15, and there was like a whole story progression tree out of it. That was where you
hold up.
Oh fuck, dude! If they remastered,
No, not a remaster. Do you think if I played it like next year, do you think I would enjoy it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think everybody should play Most Wanted. It was like in the prime of like if you played underground games.
I never really played
You never played
Hot
anything?
Speed.
Hot
Yeah.
Pursuit is what I was thinking of. Hot
I played
Pursuit
like
2. That's
the
where it's
original
at.
on like PS1. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. It might have been PS2, I think, yeah.
PS2 is when Need for Speed kind of hit its.
Okay.
Hit its.
I played the Hot Pursuit on PS1, but I haven't played like any of the besides the modern ones. I haven't played any
It'd be a toss-up for me. It would be a toss-up between Hot Pursuit 2 and Burnout 2. Those are very
Burnout
two.
Burnout 2. Not Paradise?
No, hell no. Burnout 2, the original, like, more of...
Is that Revenge?
Might be.
I don't remember now.
Hot Pursuit 2, like the PlayStation 2 Need for Speed.
You could do split screen.
Where there were
one
cop-
person
where there
be
were
cop.
cops.
Yep, you lay down, like, you call in a helicopter, lay down some... Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That was a fun game.
Most Wanted, man. He takes the cake for me.
Austin, got any racing?
Burnout.
Just original OG?
Burnout 2. No, Burnout 2.
Yeah.
No Mario Kart? Mario Kart didn't even make the list.
That's a karting game.
No, that's still...
Wow.
That's still
You were
I don't
racing.
know. That's a whole other
Different
conversation. Now you got me thinking. OG Mario Kart.
No, that's a different
Done.
category.
That's racing.
Karting is not a racing game.
Now you got me thinking further. What's the Blur? That's a fun game.
I don't know if I played Blur.
Blur is a fun ass game. I played the shit.
would-
out of it.
Okay, and
You could do quad box.
I know of Blur, and
4 people on one screen.
you bring up a good point because that really blurs the line.
Aha!
Between the karting and the
Insert
racing.
drum effect. But
you know what I mean? Like it's part kart, part racing. It's kind of in the middle there. So
yeah, that's why they named it that. Like
Blur, blur the line.
moving on, Kingdom Come versus. Oh, we haven't decided a winner, have we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was Monster
Monster
Hunter.
Hunter.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on. Oh wait, why I put Kingdom Come on here like an idiot? God of War. There we go.
Now we get into it.
Okay, God of War versus Spider-Man.
Initial vote, no discussion. Initial vote. I'll start. God of War.
God of War, easy.
God of War.
Oh, he won't say it. He won't say it because he sold the game.
I think God of War is the better game. But
Moving on.
I had
No,
more
we
fun.
haven't talked about Spider-Man.
I had more fun playing Spider-Man. I think God of War is a better game.
Okay.
So I'll pick God of War.
The biggest reason that I would vote for God of War over Spider-Man is literally the stealth levels in Spider-Man. The parts where you play as Mary Jane and the parts where you play...
Yeah,
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that
so bad.
because I wasn't having fun with the game itself, the core game, because I was just running
Okay,
around.
we're exactly the opposite then. Because
Like it
all that
like
stuff
broke
is
it up
really
a little. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Yes, it's boring because I'm in like a museum, right? Just kind of stealthing around. But even Spider-Man stealth scenes were boring as hell.
oh my god, with those... Oh, they were
Yeah.
so bad.
So yeah, so
I didn't understand what was so bad about it.
So
I guess.
okay,
boring.
since we're
it was not fun to play.
since we're
Okay.
talking about that, it's like you've got Batman set the bar for this style of game because when I think of
We need a-
Spider-Man-
we need a tick for Batman
because
too.
when I think of Spider-Man, I think of something that's gonna be close based on the gameplay that they showed. It was going to be close to what you got with the Arkham series of games, which it kind of was, except for when it put you into those other sequences where you were playing as somebody who had no power, no abilities. Didn't fucking like those. Thought they were a waste of time.
Yep.
Didn't enjoy them
100% agree.
at all. I'm here to play the game of Spider-Man, not Mary Jane or.
It literally knocks the game from a 10 to a 9. Those
and
sections.
my other issue is.
It's not bad, just one
And
tick, though.
this is where
When you're putting it up against God of War.
This is where God of War excels and Spider-Man takes a hit. Is in Spider-Man they give you the opportunity to unlock different outfits and suits, which I like because those suits give you something to progress towards, and they also would unlock different. Each suit came with an ability that you could use as like your ultimate for Spider-Man.
The only problem with that is there's one ability that's super OP.
Yeah, and it's the first one you get. It's the first one you get. The first super ability that you get with a Spider-Man suit is literally the best ability in the game.
Web
and
Blossom, right?
Web Blossom.
Yeah.
It shoots everybody into webs so that you have a like crazy advantage in every
That's the first one?
Yeah,
I didn't get that far.
it's either
to get the first
What?
ultimate. No, I stopped playing the game. It's not fun.
You don't like swinging around?
That's about it, but I can do that anytime.
Yeah.
Just jump in and I accomplish
the game
nothing.
the game
doesn't progress.
nailed the feeling of like being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like the swinging through the city was
Agreed.
awesome.
Yeah.
Worked really
Yep.
well. The atmosphere was good. Like you could land on the ground and there was a ton of stuff going on in the city. You could be up in the sky and just the movement felt great, but it like did not nail the progression very well. You got that first super and it was like I unlocked all the suits and I never ever changed my ability ever.
That should be something
Ever.
like you
It
get
was-
like That should be the in-game thing, like you get from Stark at the end, like, hey, I just upgraded your suit. Like, end of the game, you can use this, but you got to do New Game Plus. Yeah. That would be acceptable.
That sucked. The changing the character sucked, and in the Batman games, specifically Arkham City, you could go up against other Arkham villains, and in this game, you kind of had a couple sequences like that, but none of the encounters were very fun.
So that to me, I'm not as big a fan of Spider-Man as Batman, and the Spider-Man villains are all super iconic, and the Spider-Man villains are like, these might be the 5 most popular Spider-Man villains, but I don't know.
Are you saying Batman is the most iconic to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze. You got the Joker. You got
Poison Ivy. What the heck her name is?
Poison Ivy. You got. There's a million, right?
Yeah. The Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. And with Spider-Man, it's like Doc Ock.
Venom.
Yeah, and Spider-Man, honestly,
Venom, but
as soon as I found out that it was like Doc Ock is who I'm like working with initially, and that's probably gonna be a villain.
It's super obvious too.
It's just like, I'm not interested in this game because it's giving me the feels of like one of the Spider-Man movies. It's like, no, I don't want to read that.
Vulture. I don't even know who that is.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
You're fighting a bird.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was an awesome game that needs another game that hopefully they can fix the shortcomings in this game.
They also the villains also seemed really underpowered. Like in Batman, it's always like, how am I going to take this thing down? This is like, how am I going to take on Scarecrow? He's literally putting me in a dream, and then you do it.
The only fight in Spider-Man that I was that felt difficult wasn't near the end of the game. It was like in the middle of the game before kind of chaos breaks out, and you have to fight two. You have to fight 2 villains at once, and they're both the ones that were both flying. They both had the ability. I don't remember who they were.
Vulture and
probably Vulture and
Rhino. Was it Rhino?
Maybe Rhino. Yeah.
He doesn't fly.
No, Rhino. I guess you fought in in a shipyard.
Yeah, it was different. It was a shipyard.
See, this is what I mean. Like, you're not even thinking of what the villain's name was.
Exactly.
In Batman, you would know.
Exactly. So that was it. There wasn't enough side stuff in Spider-Man that made me want to go out of my way to do side stuff, other than getting the suits.
And I've been super negative about this game. I platinumed it. I really, really, really liked it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring up the negatives just to prove the point that it's not.
It was it was awesome.
No,
everything. So everything Insomniac did was. They did a very, very good job.
Yeah,
and
best Spider-Man game I've ever played.
I don't think I've ever played any other Spider-Man games because
people like that PS2 one a lot, but this one is
they like that because the web swinging was similar.
And
as
soon nails that.
As soon as they announced that this was being done by Insomniac, I was on board because Insomniac did Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Ratchet and Clank.
And Ratchet and Clank was awesome.
That remake was really good.
It was a lot of fun. So Spider-Man really good, but not as good as God of War.
Austin, you said you didn't finish Spider-Man?
Nope, I got stuck.
You got stuck?
You got stuck?
Yeah, at the very end.
How? Like,
do you use the web blossom? Use the web blossom, you'll finish the game.
So
because it's broken
kills
as
everything.
I'm not. Yeah,
so broken. Most broken ass ability.
Yeah, like I enjoyed the time I had with it, but I had no desire to continue playing it. Like, I felt like I played 4 hours of the game. I was like, kind of seen everything I need to see with this game.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't really want to play more of it.
A good game.
I still own it, but
it's a very good game. I would say it is very good, but it falls short of great.
Mm-hmm. It's just when you have the bar of other games that do this.
When we're putting it up against God of War, it's kind of tough.
Well, when you're putting it against God of War, or like comparing it to like a Batman, closest style of game to Spider-Man, it's just not. Yeah, it's missing some things.
Yep. All right, God of War, moving on.
God of War is going to beat Spider-Man on that one. All right.
Smash vs. Oberdin.
I don't have a lot to say about this one. I feel like it's going to be Smash.
Initial vote. Should we go around again?
Smash. Like,
Smash.
It's childhood favorite. It's the best Smash.
I haven't...
the best Smash that's ever been out.
It's the ultimate Smash.
I have not...
Some would say it's the ultimate Smash.
I have not had a reason. I have not had a good enough reason to want to go out and spend money on a Switch.
It's a console seller.
But now I want...
It is
I want a Switch.
I really hate that Smash is good because I want Oberdin.
And we've had Zelda. We've had Mario Odyssey.
To break through.
We've had Mario Kart. We've had all these games for the Switch.
Mario Kart is like a remaster.
Is this a
though,
preview
right?
of your game of the year?
It's
I feel like it could be a
getting close.
preview of your.
Based on you could probably understand like my top 10 of the year based on our discussion.
Oberdin?
Oberdin's getting pretty high on there.
I mean, is there any last words you want to say before we kill it?
It's so good. When you get that
Spend the 20. Get it.
Yes, spend $20, get it. Just support this dude because he did amazing work. Did you guys play Papers, Please?
Yes. Wait.
He made Papers, Please.
He
right?
also made Papers,
You
Please.
played that and you told me to play it. I played
I
This
couldn't
Is the
finish
Police.
it. It's really Papers, Please is really hard.
Because that's the one you're basically stamping. That's what
Yep.
you're doing, but you're
Yep.
picking yes or no.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
And he does such a good job of taking a mundane job. Okay, you play as a border patrol person in Papers, Please. You play as an insurance salesman in Oberdin. Like, he takes these mundane things and makes a really cool game out of it. It's really impressive what he's done. I'm not going to argue too hard because I also think that Smash is really, really good.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to like Smash at all, but I do.
But then we sat here for 6 hours straight and
I
played
fell
through it.
asleep while you guys were playing.
That doesn't sell it. I fell asleep while you guys were playing the
No,
game.
I'm just saying we were playing it
Super
that
intense.
long that
Yeah.
I actually fell asleep.
Right. Yeah.
But Oberdin, please play it. Please drop your $20 to him, and please support him in making future games.
I'm hoping he brings it down, like just gives it some kind of a discount. That way it shows up higher up on the Steam store.
Well, that's
because
kind of-
it's
that-
really
That's
really
kind of
good.
the thing that it's like this is the state of like games in 2018 is you got one guy making this like crazy phenomenal experience that you're super high on, but then it's
Incredibly
like we got all
unique,
this
too, yeah.
we have all these other games that
Big
have
name
they get
games.
so much money, AAA titles behind them, and they're
Yeah.
not delivering anything close to probably the time you had with that game. It's
Except
just,
for God of War and
it's just-
Red Dead.
it's just unfortunate that this single guy can't. I don't know. He has to work this way because if he lets somebody else give him money or
It's his
put money
passion.
behind it, it's
Right.
going to screw. It's
Well,
going to screw.
my
the
thing
game.
is, I can't remember the guy's name, but you got to think that he's been, other studios have been like, "Hey, do you want to like come like work
Mhm.
for us?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and he's probably like,
Lucas
"No,
Pope is his name.
Pope."
Lucas Pope.
Yeah, Lucas Pope. You got to think that he's like, "Thanks for the offer, but no, I don't want to be part of a corporation or anything. I just want to do my own things, my passion. I want to tell my story. I don't want to tell your guys' story."
It's
necessarily.
like you got these single
Which
guys
I
out there.
awesomely respect that.
Concerned Ape is his handle. He
Okay.
made Stardew Valley by himself.
Yeah,
You got these guys out there that are just like, no, I want to make my game and I want to make it the way that I
Yes.
want. And
Yes.
it turns out brilliant because
Yeah.
of that. It's really impressive
Mhm.
that they're able to do that.
yep, agreed. But unfortunately, it's
Pour
going to
one
lose to Smash.
Pour one out for Overdin.
Because Nintendo's got to win once.
Smash,
Well, yeah,
is,
Zelda for
Smash is
sure.
the last of us
I might
Zelda
also
for
put Golf
sure.
Story in front of
for
it.
Nintendo for a lot of people.
Smash is the last of us for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's the console seller.
Well,
Oh, it absolutely is.
we are here
currently.
the final four.
Yes,
We are. What are our final four?
the final four: Red Dead Redemption 2, Monster Hunter World, God of War, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. All right, here we go. Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Monster Hunter World.
Vote. Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Okay, so moving on to
Okay.
God of War.
Holy shit. Final four. Don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about Monster Hunter.
boy. I had to really fight to get Monster Hunter on this list.
You did.
Yeah,
So
true.
you did.
We can discuss Red Dead in the
It was all for
championship.
nothing.
That's
Okay.
fine. No, it's not for nothing. It's in the top four. That is where it belongs.
God of War versus
Questionable.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Vote. Boy.
Boy.
So 2 for God.
Boy.
The God is going to win.
Smash.
Oh my God.
All right. Make
Jesus
your case.
Christ. All right.
Okay.
Well, we need to talk about Smash. We really haven't talked about it at all. It's just been getting free ride. So if it's going to lose, which it sounds like it's going to,
It's the ultimate Smash Brothers experience.
So it's
but it's not a God.
So it's the last one.
Well, that
Well,
It's the
I
last
think glad,
one.
yeah.
yeah, I mean
That's what the word ultimate means.
I mean,
that's what-
honestly, this would be a pretty good.
It's not Super Smash Brothers penultimate.
Penalty.
I mean, it's true.
Well, yeah. When's the? I want to know when's the next
I mean,
Smash
we already
going to
had a
come
Marvel
out?
versus Capcom Ultimate, and it was trash.
Good thing it was the last one.
Yeah, when's the next Smash going to come out, and what are they going to do? Because I feel like there's a lot going on with this Smash.
Yeah.
Huge character list. There's this. I feel like there's even like a story mode that's like. This story mode where you can like
the map reveal is insane.
Yeah, the map reveal and
Dude,
the progression.
You guys don't even know. You saw the map like at the beginning.
You saw the tips.
You keep unlocking different maps.
Oh, really?
Yes, and there's a lot.
I like the RPG, not RPG, but whatever. Like the element where you have like a squad and you can level your characters up.
The spirits.
And
the
and you
spirits
have
are
to
cool.
counter things like correctly, like elemental or not element. It's almost got like that like Pokemon style too, where you have to like match your opponent or counter your opponent.
Train your spirits, level them up so they can do more damage.
There's just so much to do in the game that.
And you're always
really
making
bored.
progress towards unlocking characters for like the multiplayer mode, which I like too.
Yes.
Right.
You can go into quick play and unlock people, or you can just play the campaign and then.
So that's an interesting topic. So what is the actual trigger for unlocking characters? So I know...
I believe it's
play time?
It's play an actual match for 10 minutes. I think that's
or
what it is.
play a
10-minute
story
increments?
mode, World of Light, and unlock rescue characters.
Yeah, you can get them through that.
Okay.
We were getting them through that too. And those unlock in both modes.
Because I thought someone, maybe it might have been like Jacob Campbell or Ethan Durker from SSOG was saying that you could technically do it all within 90 minutes.
You can, and you have to kind of cheat it.
Yeah.
So
okay. So there's
Polygon
some
had
cheese.
an article.
yeah, you have to like
about it.
reset
Okay.
your console and then it triggers again.
Okay, so
Stuff
not
like
not ideal, not the
Right.
Yeah,
No.
got to be pretty hardcore about I need everything now kind of thing. Okay,
But I really like the way that it does do that gradual progression because then like you unlock a character and you could be like, oh, I want to check out this guy. If it unlocked all of them from the start, you'd be like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
I use the
Good
random
point.
a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
It honestly does draw the game out longer, even more than it already does with that Fog of War and unlocking extra maps. Because like
But-
you're saying, like, hey, I just unlocked like this new version of a Pikachu, basically. I'm gonna go
But
try
it's
it.
not like other fighter games where like you have to do certain things to unlock characters. This is like just play the game and you'll get new.
Yeah, do what you want, pretty much.
Yeah, you'll get new
And
fighters.
The other thing I found is that if you fail one of those, like a new challenger appears, if you fail it, there's another section in the game you can go to try it again.
Interesting.
So I didn't know that when we were playing, but since then I unlocked
Like you
a bunch of the ones.
you can
that-
fail and then go straight to that same character fight again.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I died once, so how do you...
There's it's in I think it's games and more, and then there's a little like door in the bottom right corner. You click on that and it redoes the
I
fight.
may need to try
If you
it.
fail again, it takes a little bit longer to come back there, but it will always come back there.
I do like finding the different spirits. So, like in World of Light, I'm using Snake, and my little spirit attachment character is Ocelot from the same series, Metal Gear Solid series. So, that's fun finding all these random characters. That
And you get
really
a little
don't know
bonus
about.
too, I think, if
You
you
do.
have the same set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. I like how they added all that stuff. You can find several characters from each series and different sound or different songs. And
Pretty disappointed that there's no Final Fantasy spirits.
really, are you sure?
Yeah, there's not.
You'd think that would be pretty obvious. Maybe they couldn't get licensing for it?
Like Cloud is not really. Well, I haven't done all of the fights, but I've never fought against Cloud in World of Light.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure it's just Square Enix being
Square Enix. Yeah.
being like, no, you can use Cloud because you already bought him, but that's it. Which is really annoying.
I'm hoping we get Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
I don't
as
know.
DLC.
The way Square is, though, I don't know.
Is it Square or is it Disney? I heard Disney owned characters.
Well, I mean, it'd still go through Square, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
I'm not sure how that works.
So
I'm not
this
sure
is,
how they would be licensed.
this was something I was going to bring up earlier. So the developer is technically Bandai Namco for this game, right? Right? That's what they're listing as.
Really?
For
For
Super
who?
Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Should
yeah.
be Nintendo.
Yeah, what?
Well, it's but with Bandai Namco.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. That would surprise me if that was true, but
But so
I'm not
okay, well,
refuting you because I don't know. I'm
let's-
just saying
I'm
that
gonna
would
look it up
surprise
real
me.
quick. Nintendo's the publisher. Developers is Bandai Namco and Sora Limited.
Interesting.
So, on that note, the fact that they are the developer, they also were the developers for Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z. And
Which should have been on this list.
I asked for it to be on here.
Yeah, these two.
That was a great fighting game, and they also did Soul Calibur 6.
which is a mediocre fighting game.
But still, the fact that they're doing 3 fighting, major fighting game titles.
Okay, is Smash a fighting game?
Yes.
It's not a platformer.
No.
No.
It's not a platform fighting game.
Nah.
It's not. It's a
It's
pure
a fighting game. It's a fighting game.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know about that.
It's not a platformer. Unless you're trying.
It's a platform fighter.
It's a fighter at heart, though. It's a fighter. You couldn't say. Would you say it's more of a fighter or more of a platformer?
I think this would be a good discussion on SSOG's Facebook page.
You're right. Let's do that next.
All right, we'll have a post for that.
Mhm.
Okay. Is Super Smash a fighter or a platformer? And people are going to be like, the fuck?
Or
But the fact that they released, Bandai Namco is huge. Like, look at their list of the games that they've been releasing. I can't turn it too far, but 2018, 2018, that's a big list.
yeah.
That's incredible.
So
Because it used to be, what was it? Howl? Something?
I don't know.
What was the old
honestly.
publisher?
No, they've had multiple.
That actually sounds right.
HAL.
Hal, yeah, Hal.
Hal or- yeah, Hal.
HAL Laboratory was from 99 to 2001. Then it was Game Arts. Then it
Game
was
Arts.
Sora Limited
And
from
they're
2008 to 2018.
They were part of this, project.
I didn't even know that.
It's pretty crazy, though. That's what I'm saying. It's just interesting that they, that
It shows
the studio
you,
is able to produce very quality products if they have the money.
Well, it's just also
Show me the money.
It's I think it's really the core gameplay mechanic, and that Nintendo's had this formula that we're keeping things this way, simple, not too crazy, and just have other people make the code for them or whatever, however that works.
We should give the floor to Austin because he's got an uphill battle here.
Yeah, go ahead, Austin.
Sway us.
Yeah, do it.
How about we discuss God of War
Well,
first
you
and
tried.
see if
Well, I guess it's gonna
see
be
if you can change my mind.
How far did you get in God of War?
There was a big fight between Kratos and some guy. I can't think of his name.
I can't remember his name either.
At
You
the beginning of the game?
Yeah, you throw each other into the wall.
So you never got the. You
throw them off the cliff. I think.
Never got
It's the chicken from Family Guy. That fight.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
honestly
much.
what it feels like.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you never got his OG weapons?
No.
Dude.
I never played any other God of War before.
Oh, what?
And you.
I'm
and
surprised.
you just gave,
this
you
is
just
very,
wanted
I
to
think
stop
this
playing.
Pretty much.
I feel like the formula for this game felt very different from the other
Yeah,
God
it
of
did.
Wars.
It did.
Because when the other God of Wars are definitely more of a
Some
top down,
yeah.
like more of an arena fighter
They're
type game, coming
power
at
fantasy.
hordes.
Yeah.
What is it?
Power fantasy.
Power fantasy?
Yeah. So
Yeah, this one seemed more slow.
What do you mean by that?
Kratos is just he's a badass. He's killing
okay. I see.
everything.
Yeah.
And this game is more down to earth. He is
human.
a human being with a child.
It's more of a
Yeah.
family game.
Which
As a
makes
boy.
sense though, because it was he had to change who he was for this game because of that reason.
Mhm.
Yep.
So it became a different game.
Yeah. Really
I
awesome.
wish you would have seen more of that game because there's so much between Kratos and Atreus. That's
The thing is so all these other games that are RPG, Spider-Man, and Assassin's Creed, they all did things well, but God of War did everything well, in my opinion. The progression was good to the point where you always felt like you were able to, in my opinion, do damage. Even if you were in there were some fights in the beginning that were super tough. You were I can't do this right now. I have to come back. But you still had
on purpose.
Yeah, but you still had abilities where when you were in fight or in combat, you felt good. You felt like you were able to do things. The the voice acting in the story was so well done. It was almost
We got another game coming up here.
it was almost like Uncharted style, where it's you're just watching a movie, but you're playing a movie. Almost is how God of War was. The thing about progression in God of War was
it didn't feel like progression. That was the thing.
it didn't feel like progression, but there were things that you could go to. If you want to acquire this ability, this is what you need to do, and then you could progress through whatever series of events that required to get you that ability. I never felt like I had something that was given to me in the beginning of the game that was too OP. But there were things that I could use from the beginning of the game, like abilities with my weapons that I could use throughout the game. And then there were things later on that I unlocked that I could also use versus Spider-Man, where it's like you had the stupid web blossom where it was like, I got this in the first 2 hours of the game. I don't need to use any other unlocks because this thing is too OP. That wasn't how God of War was. Like, God of War had me wanting to go do other activities, to go get these things, mainly because they showed you that preview of like what you'd be able to do. I was like, oh,
Yes.
fuck yeah, I want this. I'm going to go spend some time trying to get this. Yeah. Same thing with the armor. Like, you had this basic armor that they gave you in the game that looked okay, but then you could go do other activities to get like this armor that looked dope as fuck. In Assassin's Creed, you could do that by going through the tomes, but not in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you had to be level 27 to acquire the Sparta gear. Fuck that. But I'm done. You guys can talk.
I would say that there was an OP ability, not like within his
really
not with just Kratos. It was the I think it was Atreus's.
Oh, Atreus's thing.
The wolves that you can summon.
Was it? Yeah, we only do that every so often.
Yeah, but it was like you unlocked that pretty early, and it's like why would I pick anything?
Atreus's tree was different
than that.
Atreus's tree was like
Atreus also had. I'm pretty sure it was a turtle
and a squirrel.
The squirrel. It was the squirrel. Yes, that just like sassed you. He's like, I am too important to be here right now. What do you need? That was the best. That was the best.
I don't think I was
it useful?
That.
Because
no.
Okay. Yeah. See,
it was there for the wolves.
It would drop, like the little health orbs and
so
like the special. He would drop those around. That's all he did. But every time he came in, it was like, you have disturbed.
But that's fine though, because it like totally fits like the style of the game, where it was like Atreus is like he's growing up and he's got these.
He's
like
a boy.
Yeah, he's got these certain subset of abilities that you could choose from.
Yeah, I mean
Smash is good, but
dude, the Valkyrie, like there was the whole Valkyrie thing that you could do in God of War was like those were super challenging but beatable, and I guess you had to take some time leveling up. But I feel like I did a lot of Valkyries even before I was at certain level.
Yeah, me too.
Level requirements.
That last Valkyrie though. It's very difficult.
I don't think I actually beat that one.
Oof, it's really hard.
Yeah.
We should talk about the Valkyries when we go up against Red Dead, though.
Sure. I do regret selling it.
You're moving us along.
I'm going to try to move you along, because I think we're going to have a longer discussion.
I don't think you're going to be able to sway any of us.
No.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it's a bad game.
No,
I don't want to talk too much about God of War, but Smash,
save it for the
Smash is everything I remember when I played it, 64 days?
Plus World of Light, which is outstanding.
World of Light.
Smash is going to make you buy a console.
The single player mode.
Oh, yes.
And God of War is going to make you buy a console.
Wow.
They're two console sellers.
I don't know.
So are we moving on from this one?
Championship.
Unless you want to keep fighting.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna. It's not Monster Hunter.
What was Andrew's vote on this one?
Andrew, what's your vote on this one?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. All right, we can move on then.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. God of War. Okay.
I am super curious about this initial vote.
Yeah, and if you weren't following along, this is Red Dead Redemption 2 versus God of War.
This is what I've been waiting for. I want to know where everybody stands on this. I think this is a pretty clear number 1 and number 2. Like, I'm saying this is clearly the top 2 games of the year.
Clearly God of War is winning this one.
But I'm not sure where everybody stands on these two.
It's hard to, I'm trying to think of things I don't like about both these games. There's not a whole lot I'd say negative about either one of these.
Are we taking an initial vote?
Yeah.
Sure, we'll take a feeler. We can cut it off if we need to.
Boy.
You going with God of War?
Boy.
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Yes!
God damn it!
Yes!
No!
So I do know Andrew's pick for
That doesn't matter. He's not here.
Yeah. We'll have that at the end. My negatives, okay? Since those are easy for me to do. Negatives
that's your whole thing.
I haven't really had that many negatives, honestly. God of War negatives.
You've been good today.
I've been very good.
You got stuck in a puzzle sequence that was very easy for 45 fucking minutes.
I did. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Speaking
of which, fucking pissed. No, I need to go on a rant.
Well, hang on. I was going to say shout out to Sony for doing the share play thing so that I could get on and see where you were stuck.
Thank you, Kale, for jumping in and helping me out of this game because it was poorly designed.
Well, I sat there and laughed at him struggling.
The same thing happened with another game, but it was a Square title, but with Tomb Raider. Shitty game.
The
But
game
anyway,
that didn't make the list because
Did
it's
not
not
make
very
top
good.
10.
bad game. Anyway, God of War
Not bad. Doesn't make it in the top.
definitely wasn't great, though. I'd say.
17. It's on the
It's close. It's right outside the.
But yeah, that one puzzle, I was like, I could not get past it. There's
Well, you just missed a giant part of the game, is what you missed.
a part of the game.
Twitching arrows? You just missed that completely.
Oh yes, yeah.
And that's very important.
Very important.
And they explicitly tell you how to do it. You just missed it.
I was probably taking a nap, or I started clicking through things because I was too.
Well, they
didn't want to read
pause the game for you and bring up a little.
They do.
Probably something happened. But
Something
I completely
happened,
missed
yeah.
it there. But yeah, that was a negative. Other than that, don't really have any other negatives. Everything was perfect in that game. Red Dead, pretty freaking slow to get going, I'd say.
Yeah, you're still in chapter 1?
No.
Huh.
A little further than that. I think I said like 3 or 4.
That's right.
I can't remember.
And he's in 1.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check on
Oh
that.
my god, you guys need to finish that
We're
game.
gonna have to take a hard.
That's the thing is
on
like
that progress there.
like the game is fun. Like I don't have any like major issues with it, but it's like I don't have anything pulling me back to Red Dead to like I need to finish this game because maybe my problem is I get way too distracted as soon as I jump in there. Kind of like
That's the whole point.
I know, but that doesn't make me want to go play. I'm like, I'm not progressing, but that's my own fault.
I think
Like,
the problem is
I have a personal problem with this game.
Well, you never played Red Dead 1. So I think for me,
That's
playing
true.
Red Dead
It
2...
that doesn't matter.
You played Red Dead 1?
Yeah,
right?
but that doesn't matter for
So
Red Dead
you
2.
weren't, like, driven to find out, why Arthur wasn't in Red Dead 1.
I mean, it's
So okay,
Why?
at
John
the risk of
Marston.
spoiling things,
Maybe-
it's really not that
I think
hard
we-
to figure
maybe-
out.
kind of.
I think it'd be fair to have spoilers in this because if someone's made it this far listening,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys don't want to be spoiled.
I don't,
oh, that's
I don't
true.
want
How big of a
spoilers.
spoiler is
So
it?
there's
I don't want spoilers.
What I was gonna say was a huge spoiler, so I won't say it.
Yeah.
But all I'll say is
Is
like
there a nuke?
there's what?
There's a nuke.
Oh, I thought you said are there nudes. And I was
Nudes.
like,
Nudes.
Surprisingly,
Yes.
no for a Rockstar game.
so that's the whole point. The whole point of them making this game was to be super immersive.
Right.
So you get in there and you experience the lifestyle of Arthur Morgan. You know exactly what he's supposed to be doing, but there's all this other stuff you could be doing. So you saying you get distracted too easily is actually a positive.
That's the point.
I think it was the most atmospheric game
Yes.
I ever played since Skyrim. I mean, in
Since
terms
Skyrim.
of... Yeah.
I guess I didn't identify with Skyrim as much as you, but I agree that it is the most
I guess
atmospheric game.
Skyrim, I felt the same way I did about Skyrim when I first played.
I think for me it's more of like Rockstar set the bar so high and you know that they're going to deliver because they always deliver. So I'm not as surprised with Red Dead
Right.
as I am with God of War.
You-
God of
Santa
War
Monica
You
is
were
always
surprised
has.
with God of War?
I wasn't. I was like, this is the par. This is for the par for Santa
I'm pretty
Monica.
sure last year
Who
when we
else?
talked, I said that was my most
yeah, but
anticipated.
what are
Yeah.
they? What else do they? What else did they make? What am I missing?
Go ahead. Yeah, like pull up the
All right,
list.
well, look.
Because it's like I know what I'm getting with Rockstar.
Journey.
I'm getting a solid game that's going to have a quality story that's taken years and years and years to make. But with Santa Monica,
They made Journey, right?
Holy list.
Can I get these?
Nick's
by
favorite
release?
game, The Order 1886.
That was all, dude. The Order was a great game for as short as it was.
Crazy.
They highlighted like what the console could do
Fat
so
Princess.
well in The Order in year one. The game was short and
game was
short as
shit.
shit, but it looked so good. What else have they done?
Twisted Metal.
I mean, but
I mean, that's like their
From-
other big title.
I guess just from the E3 reveal, it was just like, yes, this game is going to be amazing.
because that's what Santa Monica is known for is God of War. That's their.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like Naughty Dog's Last of Us or Uncharted series. Like
Yeah.
that's what they're known for. Also, The Order, which
So
is
pretty much that's it. Yeah, I mean,
no one appreciates other than me.
For good reason.
You're getting
as
a
an
God of
intellectual,
War.
it's a
You're
great
getting a
game.
God of War game, but I had never played a God of War game all the way through. So it looked awesome in the previews, and then actually playing it was like, yeah, this is one of those things where it's like,
I will concede that it is a huge mark in the God of War category here.
Huge.
That you finished it.
Yeah.
that
Hell
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Game of the year.
great point. That's all I got to say about it. That's a great point.
I will say these games to me are not 1 and 2; they're 1A and 1B.
Yeah,
And I only finish games that are great.
I almost feel like so in Grand Theft Auto 5, they did this really cool thing where they introduced this character swap. And like all the characters had really interesting stories.
Most of the characters.
And now in Red Dead, we've got Arthur, and that's it. Like,
who is more interesting than any of the three.
That's the only story that we're playing. And I guess maybe that I haven't gotten to the point to really compare and contrast that yet. But you have a lot of improvements that were carried over from GTA, but then there's some things that were left behind from GTA.
Disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I think every decision they made in that game is purposeful. They didn't take a step back. They took a step in the direction of, we need to make this as immersive as possible. So even them saying, for the first 3 hours, we're going to make them walk through snow at a snail's pace, is them saying, we are going to make this a Wild West simulator.
I loved that. I think that is the first 3 hours of Red Dead is so important, and I don't understand how you could be discouraged from its slowness, because it literally teaches you the core mechanics of the game and what you're going to do for the rest of the game. And it's not
the looting is fucking awful.
Yeah, the looting sucks, but
bad.
But what you do in the first 3 hours,
that is way too immersive.
But what you do in
it's too immersive. I have one drawer I want to go through. Just do the whole nightstand. Well, it's got 3 drawers. Well, you got to pull up each one. Nothing there.
How would you do
pull
it
the
in
next
real
one?
life? You'd open.
If I was rushing like I am in the game, I'd be like, open. Nothing there. Fuck it. Run away. This is like
everything
open.
to fly to you.
Yeah, I think
I just want to be able to open and grab.
You should play Assassin's Creed.
I honestly
How
don't.
dare you? Never played.
Odyssey is a great game.
I mean, I think that it's immersive, but I don't know. It's immersive. It's immersive, but I don't know if I can call it like the most immersive. I think it's just it's really immersive. It's really immersive, but I don't have an example of something.
We need to move on from that word.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an example of something.
I think for immersive.
I think God of War is a very one-dimensional, linear game that succeeded for what it was, but Red Dead was just a wide-open, multi-dimensional.
Yeah, you're comparing a sandbox versus not a sandbox. Because in Red Dead, you can be really good or really bad, which I didn't really mess around with the really good or really bad, almost because I'm afraid to explore the really bad.
I think the scope, though, is just so much bigger in Red Dead, and for what Rockstar did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got the multiplayer aspect, too. If we're, like, even going beyond...
I'm talking strictly about single
touch
player.
That, so...
Yeah. Now, I will say, Red Dead has some performance issues, especially on my shitty PS4.
Really? I didn't really have one.
Valentine lags like a bitch.
PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah. Now, Saint Denis,
Into a
the big city, was fine, surprisingly. For
I didn't have
bigger.
any issues, and I played on a regular PS4.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Valentine lags. I mean, not hard. I mean, I wouldn't say like hardcore, but in terms of you can tell. I mean,
have you guys seen Red Dead
Get
on
some frame drops in there.
like a 4K HDR?
Yeah.
You have 4K HDR, right?
Well, HDR is broken because fucking
it's not true
Rockstar.
HDR.
Well,
GG.
sure, but okay, you've seen it on a 4K display.
Yeah.
It is probably the most beautiful game I've ever seen.
But when I play it,
You said that about
when
Spider-Man, though.
I play Red Dead on my TV, I'm like, damn, I can't wait for this to come out on the PC. That's how I feel.
Which it will. You know, it will.
Oh, they're gonna wait.
But it does a great job of using all of the hardware resources that it has from whatever platform you're playing on. Like, I can go to like my PlayStation menu when I'm playing Red Dead, and my PlayStation Pro is like taking a shit on itself because it literally everything is consumed when you're playing Red Dead. It uses all the resources.
Okay, so what game would you put up against it on the PC that looks better?
You also don't play in 4K on your PC.
See, that's my point, is you're having trouble coming up with something.
No. On PC, what looks as good as a game on the
Battlefield
PlayStation?
5. Anything on Frostbite.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Frostbite games look great. I think Destiny looks fucking awesome.
Destiny does look
Destiny
really
looks fucking awesome. Unbelievably
Just a
good.
bad place.
Okay, I do. I agree.
But you see what I'm saying, though, is like, even though it's on a console and it's bottlenecked by that, it still looks just as good as pretty much everything else.
I think
that's super
That's
impressive.
insane. Yeah.
I think there are a lot of console games that look way better than a PC title, but that's because I haven't played a game on my PC in 4K, technically.
Does your monitor have HDR?
No, but my TV does, and I can output from my PC to the TV and
there
play
you
in
go.
4K. But like what you're saying is, it's so drilled down to be run in whatever mode you're playing in, like a normal PlayStation or a Pro or an Xbox One X, where it delivers that experience with no hitches at that resolution and whatever, that it's super impressive for the hardware you're using with it compared to if you're trying to play it on a PC. But Rockstar just delivers great looking games.
Well, when you deliver a game every, 3-4 years?
8?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It was 8 years?
No, 6.
No,
it was
6 years.
2013 was when
13.
GTA came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And say, Jesus, I don't think it was that.
Yeah, Red Dead's here for a good amount of time now. Like, it ain't going anywhere
Yeah.
anytime soon.
You got the online play going. I'm sure they're going to keep expanding that.
Oh, yeah. And they're still expanding GTA Online.
So how do we decide?
I think part of my issue is that I haven't finished Red Dead, and so I don't have that full, complete idea.
So
of
really
what
should
the
come down
game
to
is.
Caleb because he's beaten both. Because I haven't beaten
Yes.
God of War.
No!
And since he chooses Red Dead, I have to agree.
Oh, man. This is a split.
Like I said before, to me, it's 1A Red Dead, 1B God of War.
So
take us off the record.
100%. They're both super hard to even say which one is better. You have to give one of these games the top award, because I don't think that's fair. It's totally 1A, 1. Like, how often do we get a year where we have games that are like 1A, 1B like this?
Not next year, I don't think.
Well,
I think I would say that I probably like the setting of Red Dead more than I like the setting of God of War.
GG.
But
Caleb can't stop rubbing his hands right now.
But for me, like, I don't weight story. I don't weight story like super high on my list, because usually I lose track of story at some point along the way. And with Red Dead, not even to Chapter 2, and I don't really know what the point of the story is right now. I've somehow lost track of it. But in God of War, I know exactly what the point of the story was.
Yeah, you know why you
and I remember
the point of the story is because the controls in Red Dead Redemption are so bad that they distract from the game.
Controls are not that bad in Red Dead.
Yeah.
They are bad.
I think
they are bad.
You think they're bad?
No, I don't think
No,
they're
I
bad.
think
You
everyone.
go to play,
you're bad.
You go to wave at someone, they're like, "Hey, partner!"
Yes, there's maybe one.
Learn how to play the game.
No. So there are maybe
It's a different button.
There are maybe 1 or 2 things about the controls that are kind of shoddy in Red Dead, but I think people made a way bigger deal about the issues with them than there really were. But I did have a moment like that I was telling you about.
Aiming,
I went to go turn in like the bear skin to the guy who takes the animal hides, and I fucking shot him on accident because I hit the wrong trigger.
I've done that too. I went to get on I hadn't played for like a week, and I went to get on my horse, and I hit circle instead of triangle, and just punches.
But those lead to really funny moments too, because I shot the guy. I was like, "Oh shit, that's hilarious!"
Oh man!
All right, so Red Dead.
Music, count music.
Where would Red Dead be?
Music. Maybe
Red
that's
Dead.
a problem with Red Dead. I've never really noticed.
How many people do you know that have bought a PS4 because of God of War?
Oh, good call. I like this.
Stop asking the hard questions.
I don't have an example, but when I tell people when I tell people to buy a PlayStation, it's in the list of games that I'm like, these are what you need to play.
It's in a list of like 5 games.
Yeah, and they go, oh yeah, God of War.
And then you say, what should I get if I get an Xbox?
Well, I mean,
Forza?
their stuff's also on
FIFA
PC,
19?
so that one's tougher, and that's a good thing that it's on PC. So you can't really knock it for that.
Yeah, it's a good thought. Interesting to talk about, but I don't know if that really determines which game is better.
Red Dead is so good, it's on more than one platform.
God damn it.
It's available to more people, therefore, it's more widespread. It's everyone has the ability to play it.
I don't know. This is super super tough, guys.
Better studio, Rockstar.
Larson beat a game. That
That's
means
true.
That's the only thing
that
that
God
is
of War
true.
gets the award. Like, I don't think that's the only game I can remember him beating. Like, I'm at a loss of words when I.
Let's have a Smash Brothers tournament.
I've only
the
beat
winner
in Overwatch. That's the only other game I beat.
Okay, I will say this.
Yeah.
At the end of God of War, I was like,
no spoilers.
no, I'm not going to. I was
Because I
like,
could play again.
okay, that was a cool game.
And then
that
you're
was
like,
a
I'm
very
going to play
cool
some
game.
more because you did the Valkyries, right?
But at the end of Red Dead, I literally put the controller down and was like, Oh my god. I cannot.
Me too.
Like, I am still processing this stuff.
I still am right now.
What?
A week later, I'm still thinking about it.
Yep.
Like for reals? Like
Yes.
it's actually deep.
Not deep, but like
It's like an
characters are like
oh shit moment.
not really, just more of like I don't want to leave
That's-
characters behind.
Yeah.
I don't want this game to end because I don't want these
Because
characters.
you feel connected.
I feel very connected. I didn't feel connected to Kratos. He was.
Well, I think the idea was
He's
to be
the
more
god
connected
of
to
war,
Atreus.
You know? Well, same. I didn't.
Hmm.
Their relationship is interesting, but like not being a parent, it's
Sure.
less of.
I think like one of the things though is the way these games handle progression and moving through the game, and to talk to like the point about you is like if you hit a certain roadblock, you're gonna like maybe put the game down and not come back. But you finished God of War, and I think God of War's the way that the story worked and the way that you progressed through the game. There was never a time where I'm like, man, I feel like I'm just grinding this thing out and like I'm not making progress or I'm getting stuck or whatever. Like it was difficult, it was challenging, but you were always making progress and you always felt like you could beat whatever you were playing. Red Dead has a lot of mechanics and a lot of progression and a lot of things. It's deep, super deep. But I feel like that could also be a detractor and get people hung up.
Yeah, there's a lot of deaths in Red Dead, which a lot are funny and hilarious. Like, oh shit, I shouldn't do that. But some of the deaths are just stupid. Like you'll be in the cinematic mode not running, but with your horse just on horseback, and then all of a sudden be like, failed. I'm
well,
like,
maybe
what?
you shouldn't go to cinematic
What the
mode.
fuck?
Maybe you should actually play the game.
You're going across the map. You tell me you've never used cinematic mode.
Oh, I did constantly.
Used
but
the
it's
shit
a
out of
risk, and you
cinematic
know
mode.
Yeah, because
you
it's
know
too-
it's a risk.
Yeah.
I never had any
yeah,
issues in
cinematic
I never
mode,
died
the way
in
that it
cinematic
works,
mode.
it doesn't just send you on a random
if they were
trail.
gonna-
It sends you to the point.
So the point of that,
Which most of the time it does work. It sends you to the destination.
But the point of that is to make sure that you know, hey, if you go into cinematic mode, something might still happen. Whereas if they wanted to do it the opposite way, if they did what you said and it's 100% guaranteed you're just going to get there, then they would have just put fast travel in.
No, see, I don't agree with you. I think cinematic mode was put in there because
I'm more focused on like the conversation, if anything. Like if there is any
because
between you
fast
and whoever
travel
else you're
wouldn't
riding
make
with.
any sense in that era. So they put cinematic mode in there so that they knew you were going to be spending time traveling. So you, instead of worrying about fucking managing your horse's stamina and all that shit, you could just boom, pop out into cinematic mode and just keep hitting A until you got to where you needed to be.
I get what you're saying.
The reason that fast travel isn't in there is because it's immersion. They want you to purposely go from point A to point B because they know that stuff's going to happen on the way.
Yeah.
They don't want you to say, "Oh yeah, just go over there
Yeah.
and skip all of that stuff."
No
They
extra
purposely
loading
want you to have to
screens.
do that.
Yeah, and the whole point of you running from point A to point B across half the map is because, like you said, shit's going to happen. You're going to get sidetracked,
Yeah.
which is obviously going to happen. But when it doesn't, when you actually do get to just run on the trail and you go past the other carriages coming by you and just nothing happens, no one shoots you, sometimes it just sends you off, like you'll hit a fork in the road randomly, and it'll just send you way the fuck off north side, and you're supposed to go take one turn left to go to the point.
I've never had that problem.
I've had it multiple times.
I did have
and
that
It gets
happen.
me so pissed off. I'm like, fuck this game.
Well,
like, I'm so...
yeah, there are
because then you
limit-
get to restart, and it sends you way the fuck back for the checkpoint. And I was like, I don't have time to be on my horse for another 10 minutes. Like, this is dumb. Like, no.
It's definitely a game that consumes your time.
It's a time suck. That's for sure.
It is not going to hold you.
I
down.
like the fact that they don't make traveling super convenient or easy in Red Dead because, like you said, there are things that they want you to see, but I also feel like cinematic mode is also there because they know that since they can't give you fast travel, and I feel like it's a decision because of the time period that it takes place, they put cinematic mode in there.
It's the middle ground.
It's a middle ground, exactly. But you're right, and we're right. Because they want you to see things like there was something that happened in the beginning of Red Dead when I was playing while I was doing a side mission and I got back on my horse and I was about to go into cinematic mode, or maybe I was in cinematic mode. And I was riding along the trail and all of a sudden I see something. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like I saw somebody hanging.
Yes.
Somebody was hanging on a tree and I was like, wait. Get out of cinematic mode, stopped my horse, turned around, got off my horse, went up to look at the guy, and then all of a sudden I'm getting fucking ambushed. And I was like, this is awesome. This is super awesome. It scared the shit out of me.
Have you run into the KKK?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
Is that out in the middle of the woods? Probably not on the trail.
Yeah.
there's a couple of different situations you can run into, but the one I came into was they were burning across like in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And like you go up and I was like, I'm gonna kill all these motherfuckers. And I go up there and they're talking and I'm like, I'm gonna
You
see
became
what
a member,
happens
didn't
here.
you, Caleb? Just like real life. I see.
Yeah, I'm just like PewDiePie.
Oh, shots fired. Damn. Okay.
So I go up and I'm like, I'm just gonna see what they do for a minute. And they're trying to like raise this cross up and they're super incompetent. So they don't know how to do it properly. And then it just like the guy that's like, oh yeah, keep coming. Oh yeah, you just keep going, and it just falls on him. And it was the funniest thing. So then I killed the other two and I went away.
Caleb
it
likes
was-
seeing people die.
Yeah, I tied one guy up and took him and trapped him off a cliff.
There's so much stuff like that you can do.
Yeah.
God of War does not have moments like that.
No.
No.
I'm saying it's very
Yeah,
one-dimensional.
Yeah, there's not like side open world stuff going on.
You're on a certain type of rail.
God of War is a great
All
game
points
up
lead to
against
the same
Red Dead.
game.
Red Dead's Game of the Year. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Says the man. You can't see it, but he's wearing a Rockstar shirt. So
Yeah.
I am.
he came prepared.
I'm wearing a red shirt. So.
I mean, I'm happy with either one winning. I'd like to see God of War win.
Do we all agree that this is a 1 and 2 situation? There's nothing else that should be in this conversation.
This is it. This is
Smash is
these
number
two.
3. I think it's pre 2-3.
I would just like to
Yeah.
point out that fuck Rockstar. Because they did not release Red Dead on PC alongside the consoles.
Well, you realize they did that on purpose, right?
Oh yeah, double dipping.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm going to buy a copy on
Oh, yeah.
PC when
Yeah,
it comes out.
so-
Everybody is.
So fuck them. But I was arguing against like the exclusiveness before for a God of War, and I've never argued for that ever. I hate arguing for that because I think exclusives are bullshit. Honestly,
It sucks.
it
sucks
does.
that there are people out there that cannot play this
fucking
game.
suck that people can't experience things because it's
Yeah.
tied
Come
to
to a
a
better
specific piece of
console.
hardware.
You could use the same argument against Red Dead though, saying there's people that only play stuff on PC.
Yeah,
so
sure.
You
Yeah,
could use that
exactly.
same argument.
Yeah.
So that's fair. That's a fair
Yeah.
argument.
But yeah, definitely, they're so close together. It's you need to play both of them.
Do we use Andrew?
I mean, we can ask him.
So
Andrew,
I will tell you.
Did he finish both games?
Not Red Dead yet. I will tell you. We argued hardcore after God of War won the Game of the Year awards on TV on Spike or whatever. whatever channels on
the
that.
Game Awards.
Yeah, and because I said Red Dead should have won, and he said he likes Red Dead, but he thought God of War was the best game for.
And I think this is.
Now he could hear this and be like, "No, I think Red Dead, was good," but he
This is maybe
he did
why.
support. He did support its win at the Game of the Year awards.
He actually listed Red Dead as his number 1.
He just said he supported the decision, the Game of the Year awards.
Oh, okay.
And I
And I do
argued. I
too,
just said,
honestly.
Red Dead should have won. He's
I-
like, oh, well, God of War was this and that.
Can we
so.
do a cop out and just do a tie?
No,
Everybody wins in 2018.
it's got to be Battle Royale. Someone has to die. There
So
cannot
how do we
be. There
how
cannot
do
be
we
two.
decide?
I don't know.
Ask the pizza
Ask
man.
the pizza guy.
All right, we'll ask him. Do it.
Or the pizza girl. We'll see what happens.
This could be great. It's also like perfect timing too.
Is this Mike going to pick it up?
Hey,
Relay
sorry,
the message?
It's okay, man. I got a question for you. Have you ever played? Do you play games at all, like video games?
Yeah.
Have you played God of War or Red Dead Redemption?
I have.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
I mean, like, which one? Like,
Which one's the better game? Like, if you're gonna say this is the best game, you gotta play this.
I mean, I think the Red Dead is a better story, but God of War is a better game.
Okay.
We're doing a Game of the Year recording. We're trying to figure out which one's the best game of the year. So thank you. You just kind of decided. Alright, you're going to get extra tips.
That worked out perfectly.
Yeah, just
The thing is, like, if you listen to his answer, it's the same
Yes,
thing. It's like,
yeah.
it's so hard to decide.
Come out for like an hour, like, alright, we're going
It is so hard to decide.
All right, thanks, man. Take it easy.
So just in case that didn't pick up over the mic,
Yes.
the pizza delivery guy voted God of War.
So we shout out to Rosati's from Bloomington, Illinois. God of War is game of the year.
No.
Like,
No.
Well, you give me a better argument. The guy brought us pizza and said
We
it was
made
the better
the final
game.
decision before he got here.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
I signed out.
Maybe your mind.
You signed out.
What did he say exactly?
He said that Red Dead is the better story,
Yes.
but God of War is the better game.
I think that's perfectly said. Like,
Sure.
That's,
Yeah. I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but I'll...
I don't know
I'm
if
so
he's
torn.
casual or if
Yeah.
he's like...
Yeah.
But that's our tiebreaker. I think that's a pretty solid tiebreaker.
I think he's full of shit.
Yo, shout out to Destiny 2 Forsaken as the
Dang.
1C on the list here.
Yeah.
No one asked for that plug. But yeah. So,
Eddie will no longer be joining
guess
us.
that's it? Is that it? Calling it?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
God of War is winning it. Game of the year, God of War.
I'm okay with that. I really am.
Like,
It
it's
is
a
good.
good thing.
This is
that
good.
That there's two that are so
It's
close.
the second
Yeah.
time I've lost.
Yeah.
They chose Red Dead and
Well, last time
What
I
was it even
lose.
last year? What was last year?
Zelda.
Twilight, or not Twilight Princess.
Did we
Shit.
go with Zelda? I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
we
what
did.
it was.